The real thin stuff?
Yeah, because it'll you won't even notice it till you start cutting it out the way. It'll just tighten everything up so you can do a good slicing cut off of it. And what you're pulling on will shave off instead of pull out.
Yeah.
Use it as you go, Brenda. I've done that with stuff that likes to tear out. Super glue works.
Okay. Okay.
You're turning pen blanks, Brenda, that got soft stuff in it, like pine cones or something. Use your super glue as you go, and the pine cones won't chip out of the resin either.
Okay.
For
I
what you're
figured
doing,
I'd finish them with the Parfex anyway.
for what you're doing, stay away from the stuff that tears out like that. Just pick
Yeah,
a
I
wood
should've-
just pick a wood that's not so aggressive on tear out.
Yeah. I should have used walnut anyway instead of the,
Yeah,
it's like, the Wingate is like 3 times the price,
yeah.
but
But just stay away of the wood that's too bad, that does the tear out too bad. Because it's a scraping action, so you can't do a good cut. You
yeah,
don't have a choice. So keep it sharp and stay away from wood that splinters out like that.
well, what other kind of wood would you use though besides walnut or Wingate? the
There's a lot of rosewoods in there that are available. Purple Heart, would work. It's it's probably cheaper than Wingate.
Elm would work too.
Kingwood
Yeah.
is dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elmwood is real dark chocolate brown color.
Some of it is, some not so much.
The stuff we have here is real.
Hmm.
The stuff I've been working with lately is almost chocolate brown, even after it dries.
Wow.
And
I
Oklahoma.
might
is
have to
all
try that
white.
for the next set.
Yeah,
Or
the elm I have around here it's darker than your blonde woods, but it's not nearly as dark as walnut or some of the others.
The stuff I'm cutting up
Mhm.
right now, Billy, is Siberian elm. It only grows in the northern half of the country.
Right.
Hmm.
The other thing you can do with a chess set is the base of it. You can use a colored base and then have the tops being the same color.
Or she could dye
Oh.
the darker set.
You could.
Right, make the whole thing walnut and then, maple, and then dye the black
Or,
pieces.
or you
No,
could get
no.
him to send you some elm.
No,
Or-
I'm talking about on the bottom ring, just the very bottom part of it. You could turn the bottom parts out of a dark hardwood, even ebony or
Yeah.
blackwood or something like that. And it'll be a two pieces together. The bottom would be black and then the real solid black and then the top could be blonde.
Right,
Your India ink, Billy, would work good for coloring it too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yep.
You have to
Okay.
watch bleeding between the pieces.
Yeah, if she's only doing the bottom ring or something. If she's doing the whole piece, it really doesn't matter.
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, I try to stay away from doing that, but for certain projects, I guess it's necessary, right? Or better.
Chris said he made his from cherry and maple. Really, cherry age is dark enough for a chess set.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cherry will get it really darkens up nicely.
I did one maple top and blackwood bottom. but I ornamented,
Mhm.
put the blackwood bottoms on my ornamental turner and fluted them so they would have a little accent to them.
Brenda, does the kit come in different sizes or it's just one size piece?
Do what?
The chess pieces and your the templates that you use, are they just one size or are there other choices for the chess set?
The only choice this set has is, let me show you here a minute. Okay, see, like, this is the bottom of the piece right here, right? Whoops, get this out of my way. I can't see. Right, this is, see, there's two rings on the bottom. Okay, you can cut off the bottom ring and make it a little shorter, or even use it here. But that's the
see.
only size
Si-
option that these templates offer
Okay.
that I know of. I suppose you could set the tool back a little farther and make them a little fatter.
Yeah, I was referring to the height, but I understand.
Yeah, the height, the only option they give you is either this tall, or this tall.
But get out of the box, make your own templates.
Yeah,
Make
Can't
your
do that.
templates out of polycarbonate and, just, all you're doing is drawing it, and they make, there's some, there's a book on chess piece design. It's a wood turning book
right.
on designing chess pieces, and pick it out of there, and you can actually
I can't draw
probably,
a straight line.
you can, well, there are no straight lines, and they're all curves, so you're.
Well, I
good
can't
shape.
draw a circle either.
What can you
Well,
draw?
But I tell you what you can do. You can take, if you have a picture of something, you put a piece of tracing paper over it.
I could trace it, yes.
Okay, you can draw a straight line and trace that pattern on there, and then you can take that pattern and glue it onto a piece of polycarbonate. Take a little scroll saw and cut it out, and then file it to the shape you need it, and then you have your template.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so you can make them any size you want, and any size or pattern you want of anything. It doesn't even have to be a chess set.
Now, if you want
Right.
to change the sizes, you could also scan whatever you drew. And then in your computer,
Enlarge it.
you could resize the picture and then print it again, and you'd have a resized image.
Yeah.
Most printers let you scale up or down
Right.
Can you see this?
directly.
Yes.
This is what the what is it? The knight looks like. See how you trace it on there? Cut it out on your bandsaw.
Mhm.
And this piece here, you'd have to trace onto the wood with the tracing paper, like Trace just said. So
Are you printing that on your computer printer or are you doing it on a copier?
well, that one's probably 2 years old. I printed it on my printer, I think.
Yeah, but either way, you should be able to scale that up or down on your printer or a copier, either one.
True, yeah.
Hey, Brenda.
Yeah,
Hey, Brenda, there's a fellow on YouTube. He's got about 8 or 9 videos. It's called Conrad Creations.
yeah.
And he shows you, for like instance, he shows you how to what size the block to make. Well, not that, but the square for the chessboard. That is the ratio of how high you're going to make the king. You are, and then he'll show you how to use graph paper. And he gives you,
Yeah, when I originally made this, I was told or looked up and read that
Okay, I just muted everybody. If you need to talk, you can unmute yourself. There was a lot of background talk.
Right. Hey, Trey, can you make me a co-host, please? Mr.
Sure.
Dane.
Me as well while you're there, please.
Brenda,
Doug.
you're muted.
Who was the second person who wanted to be co-host?
Unmute
Doug Miller.
yourself, Brenda.
Doug Miller.
You can add me if you want to, Tris.
Billy Burt.
now you can hear me.
Now we can hear you.
Now we can hear you.
Okay.
We were just
So
getting
anyway,
lip
it was
service.
saying that you could put, the square should be the size of 4 of the ponds. So my squares are 2 inches. And the ponds, well, let's see. The squares are, whoops. The squares on the board are 2 inches. And of course, I haven't got them cut down, so they're not gonna fit 4 of them in there now. Well, that one is.
Hey, wood turners, somebody's got a TV on in the background. They're listening to TV and paying attention to trying to watch the meeting. Turn off your meeting or mute yourself.
Not me.
Not me.
I got earbuds in. It's not me.
You said
I
the other
think it
person,
stopped.
you said Billy Miller is the one?
Billy
I don't see
Burt.
Billy Burt, okay.
I don't see anybody else.
What are we looking at, Brenda?
Well,
Brenda's getting her chessboard pieces.
Now we
It's
back
me
to
again.
Brenda. Okay.
yeah. I had the camera turned around.
Attention people due to Medicare. If you have original Medicare,
See what Dane's doing.
Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits.
I'm trying to
Hey, Dane.
reposition my camera box here.
Call 800-834-60.
I don't
You're
have
not
my
home yet, are
tripod. So
you?
I'm kind of lost. No, ma'am.
What's
Oh,
the
my.
status
I'm
on
still
your
in the
truck?
great. I am. Well, it's sitting in the driveway, so that's a bonus.
Oh my.
It's running. It sounds good. However, it does make a sound that it didn't make a sound before.
Mm-mm-mm.
So that's concerning. But other than that, I'm going to play it by ear and hit the road on Monday. So
Oh my.
but right now, enjoying these nice frigid temperatures we got up here.
Right.
It's nice
tell ya.
and temperate, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. Too damn cold. At least I came dressed properly. So that was good.
I think it got,
Dane,
last
tomorrow
night might
morning
have
we're
been the
supposed to have-
coldest night we've had all winter because my deck out back pops when it gets real cold. You know,
Oh,
expanding
yeah, it's
and
swallowing up
whatever.
the moisture.
Dane, tomorrow morning, just to make you feel better, we're gonna have minus 34 to 45 degrees below with the wind chill.
Oh my. I feel for you, Scott.
That didn't make me feel better, Scott.
It should.
wouldn't
You're
be going
nice and
outside.
warm.
Well, I mean, it was at 36 today, and we had freezing rain for like 4 hours. So
Oh yeah, you guys down in Texas are all shut down right now, huh?
where a lot of Texas is, we've had schools closed down here in San Antonio for the last 2 days because of
Right.
ice on the overpasses.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, our weather this evening was saying you got 300,000 without power. In Texas
That's a bunch.
alone.
Well, yeah, and even and further north of us, they're just bad ice storm.
Yeah,
Ice storms are worse than snow. It's just absolutely
Definitely.
right.
No question.
They had a bad wreck here Friday. On just south of Madison, Wisconsin. 85 cars took them 9 hours to clean up the interstate both directions.
Wow.
Wow.
Miraculously, there was only 23 minor injuries, no hospitalizations.
Wow.
That's miraculous.
Yep.
It went south of Janesville. It started out as rain, and between Rockford and Janesville, when they got to Madison, it went right straight to ice. It never had a transition zone.
How's Eddie
Oh.
doing tonight?
Okay,
hey.
before everybody came in, Brenda volunteered to demonstrate that duplicator.
I got it on my,
We gotta put-
I've had it on my list for about a week. You just found out?
Well, yeah, before you came in, she said, well, she could demonstrate it, so,
I was
I'm
actually
not talking
gonna
about tonight,
ask
but
if
you
you
need to
wanted me
schedule
to.
her. I said, yes, and you need to get it scheduled.
I will. Brenda, we'll be talking. We got two dates
Okay.
open for March, I believe.
What kind of
Oh, I don't know
duplicator
about
did
March.
you get, Brenda?
I'm gonna be hiding out in March.
What kind of duplicator did you get?
Actually, I've had it for a couple years. It's the one from Penn State.
Okay.
I'll walk back over here and show you. Camera around. Wait a minute. Camera around. Come on, turn around. Here we go.
Hey, Matt.
Here it is.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
It's one for the mini leg.
Don't know hardly anything about a duplicator.
Well, that's because you guys are good enough. You can make a chess set without a duplicator. I'm not.
Ooh.
So
All right, all right, all right. Well, quite the pedestal you got there for us.
I'm gonna have to make me one of those.
A
oh, there you
duplicator?
go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've wanted to make a chess set for a while. Have you tried that yet, Brenda?
Oh yeah, I've made I'm working on my third set.
Nice, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Here, I'll show you the pieces again that I've done this
Is
time.
is it the standard set? Oh yeah. No, it's not.
Wow.
Okay, very interesting.
No. It's here's the king and the queen. I've not finished the tops on most of them yet. And the bottoms, the two rings on the bottom, that's going to be the bottom of the piece.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay,
Okay.
yeah, you got some
Yeah.
cutting to do. Okay, all right, very cool.
Yeah. And show you here, this page here of the instructions is the knight.
Okay.
Yeah, the knight also offers all kinds of opportunities to do some carving and some creative
Right.
stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, all you need to do is trace that pattern onto your wood and cut it out on the bandsaw.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, you could
That looks pretty
also
good.
do it on the you could also do it on the lathe. Yep. Did they give you a template for the lathe for the knight?
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
well, kind of. The template for the knight is this piece here.
Gotcha. Okay, so and then you do the rest of it on the bandsaw.
Yeah,
Okay. Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. Very cool.
yeah. Only thing is,
Hey, Brenda,
yeah,
we can put you down. We can put you down for February 29th.
Hey, there's no turning on the 29th, 30th, or 31st. No turning.
Yeah. Don't listen to him, Brenda. It's a trap.
okay. I could do that, Dane, I think.
Okay, cool. So
There's-
in real
there's
world
no-
terms, that would be
there's-
March 1st.
Do what?
You said you weren't doing
Oh, I
anything. You
got
said
you.
you weren't doing anything for March, but I think February 29th works out, you know, but the rest of the world is calling it March 1st.
I get you. I get you.
All right,
Yeah,
all
you
right,
threw
all
that
right.
over on me.
Yes, I
It's
Don't
a
did.
get-
trap.
Don't get Doug
Yeah.
Rowe on that road because he'll ask you when's daylight savings time.
Yeah. My birthday's in the middle of March. I'm gonna be hiding out then.
Okay, yeah. So March
My
1st.
best friend thinks I gotta have a birthday party and I don't want one, so I may tell him I'm going to Indianapolis.
She's gonna trick you on that too.
Yeah. Otherwise, not if I'm not in town, she won't.
Hey,
Barbara,
hey, Brenda,
you're in the shop, Brenda. Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
See?
Oh, it looks good too. Your
hey,
Wi-Fi is
Brenda,
working great.
Your chest
my
set
ball-
was awesome.
See my bicycle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys want a tour of my shop?
Yeah, sure.
Spin it real
Yeah.
fast.
Sure. Turn around here.
Faster, faster, faster.
Faster,
There you go.
faster. Yeah. Hold on.
You don't have
Get
to.
over to the
You
door.
don't have to rush it.
Here's the door. This is my workbench. Is just all piled full of junk. And there's my pen kits,
Wow.
all marked out in that thingy there. And there's the drawers. I got some in. Then we'll walk over here. Here's my whatchamacallit, drum sander. Yeah, that was my my birthday present or my Christmas present a couple years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Then we come over here. This section here is my shelves that I got a bunch of sandpaper and some more kits on. Junk. A magnet hanging from the bicycle. My new air compressor.
All right.
My radio alarm saw.
Mm-hmm.
Bandsaw. All my extra wood back in there. Here's my new lathe.
Ooh.
My new Delta. There's the lights on. There's my big lathe. And the
Yeah. More
oh,
horsepower.
the dust collector, yeah. Microwave, extra wood. There's my tool rack, like Doug Rowe made. Yeah. Oh, and I turn around here. There's my little one. Another saw or sander. That's where I usually put everything together at down there. There's my tool sharpening area. This thing quit on me the other day. My other little saw. My drill bits. Toolbox. My bugs.
She does.
More wood.
She does have more drill bits than that.
No. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you do.
My pen blanks. And my new workbench. My daughter brought that home from work. She was going to put it in her house. Then she didn't get the house.
Oh.
Oh, there's my drill press too. Oh, that's about it.
Cool.
Area over there with the
Oh, more wood.
oh, there's that my glues and stuff in that bookshelf. Over here, my grandson's
Heavy bag.
yeah. There's my black walnut.
Mm. So what's your
Elm.
address? I need to come get some of that
Oak.
walnut.
Hey, I've got plenty of it. All
I
that
can
white
see
stuff,
that.
that's all black walnut.
Wow.
My heater.
Yeah.
Nice big piece of Purple Heart there. Yeah, my Christmas decorations. Extra wood. My snow blower. Slash lawnmower. Some stands I made a long time ago for pins to for my shows.
And display.
Yeah, display pins. Yeah. And that's it.
That's a really nice shot, Brenda.
It's a 30 by 30.
Yes, it is.
That's a real nice
That's not
shot.
bad.
30 by 30 and still not full enough that I can still get my car in here. Oh, there's my refrigerator.
That's what
Yeah.
happened to it.
My brother gave me that not too long ago. Oh,
Very cool. Thanks.
I kind of like it out here
Yeah, you should.
sometimes. What's that?
I said you should.
Yeah,
You should like it.
yeah. I had to buy me a new shed though to put all my lawn ornaments in because there wasn't no room in the garage to put it in no more. So
Yeah.
outside of the 30 by 30 garage, I've got I don't know, what is that, a 10 by 20 shed?
Yep. Yeah, about 10 by 12. Or yeah.
Yeah,
12 by
okay.
20,
With a couple lofts
probably
in
about
it.
12 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice size shed.
And then the car sits outside anyway.
Where it belongs.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I say.
Well, if I was working every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning and have to go to work, then it'd be
Yep.
inside, but I don't have to scrape the snow off of it, so you can sit outside.
All right. Cool. Very cool.
Yep. And thanks to Scott, my new Wi-Fi thingy reaches all the way out to the garage, so I can sit out here to watch the meeting now.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not only that, get you a smart TV. You can actually do YouTube videos out in your shop.
If I get a what?
You get a smart TV, a little small smart TV, like a 30-inch, and you can
Yeah.
actually stream YouTube videos in your shop.
Yep.
You know, how-to videos. That's how I got mine set up. It's on a swivel on the wall.
Yeah.
So I can look at that and just pause it and catch up and pause it. And yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
think
like,
anybody wants to
nah,
learn
nah,
how
nah,
to.
nah.
Nobody wants to
they're
watch me turn though.
No, I'm talking about you can
No,
watch instructional videos while you're turning.
Oh, I
As
see.
you're
I
turning.
got you.
That's
Okay,
what I do.
I got you now.
Yeah,
Huh.
you don't think Doug does all that on his own, right?
Well, yeah, I thought all those ideas came out of his head.
Oh.
Hey, this is Gary Bobenhausen here. Can I ask you all a question?
Yes. And then,
I've
and
kind
then
of had
Dave George. Then Dave George got a question after you, Gary. Go ahead.
Okay. I tried making some of these whiskey barrel glasses for Christmas presents, and of course, I thought I was using white oak, and I wasn't. I was using red oak, so they leak like a sieve. So I've made some out of white oak, and I've made 5 of them, and every doggone one of them still leaks like a sieve. One didn't, and I'm sure that this is white oak. I went and bought white oak. One didn't. It lasted for 30 minutes. I poured the water out of it and let it sit there. And dadgum, if while it was an hour later, it had cracked. So the only thing I can think of to do is to what's it called when you take and you stabilize the wood. Any ideas on if that's a good idea or a bad idea to stabilize the oak before I make the barrel?
If you're going to be drinking out of them, I would say no.
No. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I didn't know.
the stabilization chemicals, at least all of them that I'm familiar with, you really don't want to be putting alcohol in those, especially
Yeah.
alcohol.
I was outside with my hat off. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
That's
Your hair
okay.
don't look any worse than mine.
But okay, that's what I wasn't sure. I was thinking that way, Billy, but okay, that sounds like a valid answer.
Have you tried Have you tried charring the inside?
Yeah, I burned the heck out of the inside.
Wow,
I mean,
that
really,
blows my
really burned
mind.
it. Yeah, I really burned the inside pretty doggone good. And I left a ½ inch on the bottom of the glass or barrel, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
And it's still, it doesn't leak out the sides, but it leaks right out the bottom.
strange.
And that's what
Is that ungrained? I'm assuming it's an ungrained turning.
Yeah.
Could you
Yeah.
seal that with like beeswax or something?
Haven't tried that. I could try. I put the beeswax inside or outside.
I would put it on the inside, but I don't know. I haven't had a drink for 30, 40 years, so I don't know how that would affect the taste of the whiskey.
So Gary, how about trying, take your glass, flip it upside down, and on the outside of the bottom of the base, saturate it with 10 CA.
Okay, I'm willing to give anything a try. You know, this started out as a Christmas present. Yeah, it
Right.
already passed a full month. So at this point in time, I'm willing to try anything.
Yeah.
Gary.
There's another product called Brewer's Pitch. You might want to try that.
Okay, you got to give me more information on that.
That's all I've
Outside,
got on it.
yeah, put it outside or
Put it in
inside.
chat.
Inside.
Okay. Okay.
Find a link for it, Doug.
Hey, Gary,
I can
why don't
try.
you try using some spar varnish on the bottom, on the outside? You can buy it at the hardware store. It's a marine finish.
Yeah,
What they used to put on old doors years ago on the bottom to keep them from warping.
SPARE?
Yep.
Just SBAR.
SPAR, okay.
Yep, and it's Midwax makes it. I think everybody makes a spar varnish out there.
Varathane makes one.
Just spar Varathane.
Make sure it's spar varnish though.
Kept you waiting for your turn there. But
Yeah, they use it on boats.
commenting about
It's made for boats.
guys, but enough space and stuff. We should describe that somebody said, who is she speaking to? I have to assume it's a group of 3-year-old closed-headed.
Okay, somebody's got their TV on again. Please turn it off so we can hear the people. Come on.
Okay. That gives me a couple of ideas that I'll try, because like I say, I'm at my wit's end. I just don't know which way to go.
Gary, do you have any boat dealers close to you?
Yeah. I've got a couple of those ones that sell resin, something like that. Anyhow, they sell a lot of resin, but yeah, there's a boat dealer not far from me.
Hey,
They'll have
Gary.
a varnish too.
Hey, Gary, Tim Hatch. Hey, I just put a link in there for that Brewer's Pitch from Townsend. He does a lot of historical recreation stuff, a lot of videos on that, and I'm sure it's probably something, I haven't seen the video, but he's probably using it for a tankard or something of that nature. So that might be helpful for you.
I'll like I say, I'll give it a shot. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it.
How thick is the bottom? Word has Bob put another link up there too. Leather worker, lining
About a
tankers
½
with
inch.
Oh, lining tankards. Oh, that's it, with Brewer's Pitch. Oh, I see. Okay. Let me copy both of them and put them in my Word document, so I won't lose them.
It will be in the chat if you save the chat tonight.
Yeah, I save the chat religiously. It's just this helps me out so I don't lose things. Okay.
Oh, don't tell me you don't lose things. Everybody loses things.
Well, that's yeah.
Oh, no.
That's true. Okay, look, I appreciate the ideas. Like I say, I'm lost. I don't know what to try. So I've got 4 or 5 good ideas to give it a shot. Thank you.
Sounds good. All right, hey, let's go to Dave George. Dave, you still got your question, right?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I made a jig for my bandsaw after watching that demo by Trey's regarding to the 15-degree angle cut for the ornament stands. And then he was saying that it was actually made for cutting other blanks that you could actually laminate different colored blanks together for turning. It works great for the 15 degree cut, but trying to cut, I tried it today, trying to cut the half circle, what do you want to call it?
A wave bowl.
Yeah, wave bowl. As far as I'm doing something drastically wrong because it doesn't work for me. And whether it's my bandsaw is too cheap and too small, or the blade's too small, I don't know. Or the fact is that my jig is not made right. So
Now, the key on cutting that wave bowl is you put the piece in and then you slide your thing to the point that is going to cut on the front leading edge of the blade, and it stays at that position. Your cut has to align to your bandsaw. It has to cut on the front leading edge of the blade.
So if my jig is, of course, I have it in the guide slot, and then I have the adjustable for the, like I have about a 3.5 by 3.5 inch block I was going to do this on.
But when you slide it in, it has to stop at that position of where the front leading edge of your blade.
So you're at 90 degrees to the blade, right?
Yes. So your blade cuts at a tangent when you're cutting anything. When you cut a circle, you cut at that circle tangent.
So if I went back and watched that video of you doing that, and I thought that, you started with the.
I was doing a straight cut. I was not doing a curve cut. I was just doing a straight cut and pushed it through the blade.
That's for the 15 degree angle, correct?
Yes, but that was for the one purpose I did. What
Right.
you need to do is you need to set it and lock it. It slides in, but you need to lock it so that you're cutting on the front leading edge of the blade.
Yes, for the 15 degree.
No, for the swing.
Right.
Okay.
So
Look
Dave?
at the picture. Look at the picture.
Okay.
Dave, look at Brenda's picture. Brenda, put your picture back up. I'll help you explain that, Trace. It's just like my circle cutting jig. It's got to work the same way. So you got to cut on the leading edge of that blade. Your center line of your chuck has to be centered on the center of that leading edge of that blade.
Right.
Okay.
Front of the tooth. So you have
And
to
when
push
you-
your table in so that's like Brenda's
When
got
you
it
put
there
the
in the
wood
picture.
in it, you're gonna
Yeah,
bring it out here.
you put it in and clamp it down, and then you're
gonna
cutting
turn
from the
it
clamp
here
position.
and turn.
Okay, Dave, since Brenda's cutting out, you would clamp that down, your table down now to the table. She's got it centered.
Right.
Then start your swinging motion with your piece in your chuck.
So, okay, so you clamp that down and you swing your table, and you put your piece into it, and then you swing it back and cut it. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
But the base table has to be locked to the table of your bandsaw.
Right. Okay.
So if you go back and look at my demo for the circle cutting jig, I explained in there how the front of that tooth has to be lined up with the center line of that pin, that pivot, that's your pivot point.
Okay.
Yeah, the same holds true for this.
Same holds true for this. Actually, I'm going to make this jig fit my circle cutting jig so that I can have one jig that'll do two things.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, because I'm not, mine isn't set up that way when I'm trying to cut this. So, okay, I'll give that a try. As far as the size of the bandsaw blade, are you using like a half inch or smaller, or what are you using?
I use a 1/2 inch, Dave, to cut my circles.
Okay. I took my 1/2 inch off and I have a 1/4 inch on for some other stuff I was doing. I was trying doing that, and all I was doing is, what I was doing today was just torquing my blade.
It's too thin.
Yeah, well, that, and I didn't have it set up right to try that. So I'll try it tomorrow and from this and see how it works for me.
Dave, I'll be around tomorrow if you want to call me on the phone. I got my phone number's in the list. If you want to call me tomorrow, I can try to help you.
Okay, Scott, I'll do that. Yeah, because I can get in the list and I'm in there too. So. Okay, I appreciate it, guys. Gals.
Right on.
It's helpful. Thank you very much.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's
Glad
go
I could
to
be out here in the
Dennis.
garage.
Let's go to Dennis Morgan. He has a question.
I'm new to this, so bear with me.
No, you're fine.
Okay,
Keep talking and I'll find you. Let's see, Saratoga.
I got him.
Yeah, right there. Okay, I got this tool from a friend of mine and I have no idea what it's used for. It came in a,
Oh, my.
it's
Wow.
from Sweden. It's kind of tough to see.
Yeah, it's a spear point. Looks like it's got an interesting grind on it. Did you sharpen that?
No, that's what, no, I haven't touched it. Like I said, I figured I'd ask everybody to see what, what you use it for.
So the traditional spear point, I mean, that's essentially what that is. And so those are great for cleaning up your tenon on your pieces, of going in and setting your dovetail on it, and at the same time you're able to swing. So you go in on the right hand side of the cutting edge to clean up the tenon, and then the opposite edge you swing around, because that point goes to the center where the tenon meets the base, and then you swing around and it helps, and you use that to clean up the base where the jaws are going to sit at.
Okay, so you're gonna go.
It's not a necessary tool to use. You can also use it to make V cuts.
Yep, and to round off the corners on to do beads with it, shallow
Yes.
beads, shallow coves. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Or saw one like that.
But so keep in mind, so that tool operates like a scraper. So you want to be cutting at center, but you want to have your handle raised up. Otherwise, it will catch and it will be violent. Yes.
Yeah, because I tried once and it did catch. So yeah, you
Yes.
gotta have it up at an
Yes.
angle like that, correct?
Yeah, I use mine straight in, but you're right, Dane. You want the point on center.
Okay.
Yeah, and you go straight in, and then you can use it as a scraper to round through the to round the corners off.
Yeah, the way that thing is sharpened, that's actually a positive rake. And those will be very grabby.
Yeah, no, I can tell, yeah, because it's got a very steep angle on it. As you can see.
Go on YouTube and see if you can find any turners from that country that are using it.
Okay, I will.
That's probably your best bet, because a lot of these people use things different. It's surprising how everybody turns, and it's different all over the world.
Right.
Yes, very, very, very good input on that. That's for sure.
Okay.
We do a lot of stuff that some of the folks across the pond think is silly that we do. All right,
Dang, you're
so
sideways.
do what?
You were sideways.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm trying to write, keep up with the chat. Everybody's just chatting away, and I'm having a heck of a time to picking up the people that's got stuff to show. Kind of like this guy. Look at him.
Who let this guy in the room?
He's sideways.
Okay,
He's not
so
sideways.
no, I'm not sideways. Hey, let me reach it. I've been working on this week. My version of a dizzy bolt.
You copied that from somebody. Somebody did that on a YouTube the other day. You copied that work.
Maybe.
That's nice, Billy. Looks
Thank
pretty.
you.
That's
Anyway,
gorgeous.
this was my first. I'm not real pleased with it. It's got some issues, but the wife's gonna like it anyway. One of the cool things about it is, unlike a lot of your economy bowls or bowls from a board, you can see that this has more of a traditional bowl shape. It's not the standard 45-degree cone. That's because I cut these first two rings at 65, the next two rings at 55, and the next two rings at 45. So I was able to give it more of a round bowl shape inside and out. I almost messed up when I did the second ring though. It's a little bit thin, and it's I cut it a little bit thin. Anyway, this thing is, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's thin. Maybe an eighth of an inch, maybe.
That's very nice, Billy. I've been watching you do that all week. It's been fun.
Thank you. It's been harrowing at times, but I'm overall I'm happy with it. It's got some issues, like I said. There's some tear out that it was just too thin for me to really finish taking out. But this was more of a proof of concept than anything else, because I've never done one of these Dizzy Bowl, that is, and so there were some lessons learned along the way as well. One of the lessons is wide pieces like this piece of cedar, and I thought I was using my better camera for this, but I guess I'm not. Right, this piece of wide cedar, these pieces should be narrower than that. Same for these two outer pieces and this blonde piece here. But just lessons learned and what to do and what not to do next time. But overall, I think it came out pretty cool.
It's like,
At the bottom, I wasn't able to see it earlier.
Deft gloss lacquer. As
Billy,
always.
can you turn it around? Can you turn it around? I wasn't able to see it earlier.
Oh. What do
Oh,
you want to
very
see?
nice. Oh, I just wanted to see the whole piece. I wasn't able to see it. So I was
Okay.
taking down names. Very
Cool.
good. Good job.
Thank you.
And did you do a video on that?
Well, I have. It is recorded. I have not yet edited. I just finished this morning or this
Oh, okay.
afternoon. So
Right
I
on.
just finished it this afternoon. Got the bottom turned, and
What did you do, Billy, to get rid of the bleeding?
believe it or not, most of it just went ahead and sanded on out. I didn't really do anything, but keep sanding as much as I dared. Like I said, it's let's just say I was somewhat on pins and needles when I was working on the inside of that thing, because you could hear how thin it was, and I was using my homemade bowl steady.
Gauge.
Yeah, I was using my homemade bowl steady, and it's loud and makes ungodly noise, but it works, and it without that, I'm sure I would have blown it up.
Billy, on your angles, when you start changing angles, you
Yes,
start
sir.
thinning out the bowl. For the width of the cut.
Yes.
For the width of the cut and the thickness of the board, there's only one angle will give you a perfect, and it gives you perfect straight side. When you start to angle things, you're compromising the one below it a little bit.
Right.
And so you can draw it and get that, but
Right.
yeah. Nice
Well,
job.
one of my biggest mistake with that, not the first 55-degree cut, it was fine, but the second 65-degree, the second 65-degree cut, the biggest problem I had was, well, it was my fault, user error. I didn't. I made my mark for where the inside needed to be, and you should go a little bit inside of that to give you some wiggle room. Let me fix this. To give you some wiggle room, and I didn't do that on that first cut, or the second cut. I mean, I didn't give me enough wiggle room, and that's what caused most of the issues that I had. But like I said, lessons learned for next time, and
yeah.
I will be doing more of those. I really like the look of them. but I've got to
Right on.
figure out, I've got to come up with a better, I got to come up with a better way of cutting them. I used my homemade thin parting tool and I'm still getting just crazy bad tear out on the back side and I'm cutting slow. So I don't know what I can do about that short of making all those cuts on my scroll saw. I haven't tried that yet, but I probably will.
That's why that ringmaster cuts from both sides.
True.
It has
Very
a kind of, a jig cuts back and forth. So
Right.
it saves you some, but good.
Hey, Billy, you tried taking your extra thin parting tooling down to a point. In other words, a flat edge and then to a very sharp point.
Well, yeah, it's ground very much like or at the same angle
15
as
degree angle.
it's ground at the same angle as my my thin Carter.
Okay,
The
so
Carter and Sons.
top and bottom are coming together at one angle.
Top and right. Top and bottom
then
come
on the
together.
side you have it straight, and then you have 15-degree angle going into that leading edge.
I haven't measured the angle. I just
Well, I mean, roughly.
sharpened it by eye.
Roughly, kind of like what. Holy crap! I'm losing my mind here tonight. Anyway, that might help some of the tear out. It's not really gonna affect all of it, but it may
Right.
cut down some.
Well, and part of it too was the cedar. Cedar is brittle anyway. Cedar, juniper, Sipo, those woods have a tendency to be rather brittle and they like to tear out if you just look at them funny. So that was
I
part of
just
it.
heard a piece of cedar crack right now. Yep.
But anyway, it was fun. A little harrowing at times, but it was fun.
Cool.
That's all
All
I
right.
got.
Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it.
Thank
All
you.
right, let's go to Bastrop. Hey, Tim.
Hey, good evening, everyone. So, the wife, around Christmas time, she started making some stuff, and she put a little snowman that I had put together on a rock, and then of course painted it up, and then asked me for a pine tree. Well, I gave her one, and then she said, "That's not enough. Can I turn a couple more?" So, I know it's beyond Christmas now, but this her little collection for next year, and I just thought, yeah, it's kind of cute. But anyway, I know it's out of the Christmas season right now, but just want to show you some of her work that she does with
Hey,
my.
Now is the time to plan on stuff for next year, especially when you
Exactly.
make changes.
Exactly. But haven't been out in the shop a whole lot. Still dealing with some medical issues, trying to get that all straightened out. And as soon as that kicks in, I can't wait to get back out on my lathe. So we'll catch you guys next time.
Okay, thank you, Tim.
All right, Tim.
Very nice.
All right, let's go to Lakewood. Dave, you out there?
I'm here.
Oh, it's just as
I'm
I was
right here.
ready to click on your name, you pop to the top, and there you go.
Hey, there I am.
How about that?
Well, you're probably familiar with this that I showed a little while ago. And I wasn't quite happy with the way it ended up. And I didn't get a lot of time in the shop this week, but I did make a little cover for it. And I got really brave and turned a brass knob.
Oh, nice touch.
Which was a challenge to say the least. I had a little trouble with the top holding onto it at the end, but I got rid of that with some hand sanding. But the brass knob was my accomplishment for the week.
Hey, Dave, can you
Yes,
hold
sir.
that on the other side of you? Oh, nice. I got the participant
pretty.
screen up on mine. I can't leave. That is nice. And you were holding that right behind the participant screen.
Sorry
That's
about that.
gorgeous. Well, that's all right. I can't get rid of it.
But yeah, I'm rather proud of that knob. I've got a little bit more of that rod. I'm gonna probably do some more.
Beautiful.
But I spent the rest of the week babysitting my grandson, so I had a great week.
There you go. That's good to know.
And that's it.
Very
Grandkids
good,
Trump
Dave.
turning any day.
All right. All right. Let's go to Billy. It's been a while since he's contributed here. Hey, Billy, how you doing? How
Yeah,
you
this
feeling?
is. I'm doing good. I'm staying busy.
Good.
I got back in the shop and kind of made something that was a necessity item, but it's an urn for a friend of mine's dog passed away. This is the first one of these that I've done. This is some sycamore, and I followed a couple of directions. I guess I got really close to the end, and I decided to put the threads in it. And I used PVC threads, but I got caught up in the moment, and I went with a bigger hole on this side, which happened to be the wrong threads. So my cap ended up with the male protruding threads, which should have been on this piece, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it would have made it.
Still
But
look beautiful.
the point is that once it's closed, it's done.
right.
So,
Doesn't matter.
so we're
Nobody
kind of
knows the
waiting on. Yeah, we're kind of waiting on the information of what they want to put on it. We're going to do some laser engraving, put his name and maybe his birthday, some items on it. But it's just it's a Parfex finish, and did the same thing. I don't have any dedicated hollowing tools, so I had to kind of do it old school. I know you can't really see in there very well, but I done pretty good just to be doing it. I put a coat of Parfex on the inside, just kind of wet it all the way down through and through. But,
Very nice.
It's going to work. We're going to do another couple ones. I don't have a lot of wood this size to work with, but I think this particular type of wood looks really nice. The sycamore is really pretty.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
I get it. Very good.
Looks good, Billy.
Yeah.
Good
Something
to know you're
different.
I
feeling
like
better.
sycamore. It turns beautifully.
Right.
I like it.
When you engrave that,
Right.
can you engrave that through the finish?
I have in the past with other items. In fact, I think I've got some of the same wood that I've engraved through the finish.
I've never done it. I just wondered.
Yeah, it just let her rip. I do a little test burn on a spare piece of wood, and I'll make sure that it's going to go deep enough, because the Parfex has a tendency to be a little reflective, but it will burn. You just got to make sure you do it on the first pass. The challenge will be the angle. So when I set it in my jig to rotate it, it's going to have to make sure that I'm as flat as I can be in reference to the engraver. So we'll probably have to make probably a piece of double-sided tape with a disc for it to set on. Then I can set the angle for it to rotate in my
Does rotate.
piece.
Okay. Mhm. Wow.
That's my plan.
Good luck.
Oh yeah. That's why I want to
Good
turn the second
engineering.
one just in case.
Yeah.
Very
Good
nice.
stuff, Billy. Thank you. All right, let's go to Doug Miller. Hey, Doug.
Howdy. First, Trace, can you re-co-host me? I got kicked out a minute ago. While you're doing that, you may remember a year and a half or so ago, I cored some cherry that was given to me. It was soaking wet, and this is one of the big cores. This came out to be 12 and 5/8 diameter by 6.5 tall, and it's got a little character. Well, if I don't drop it, there you go. You can
Gorgeous.
see the dark
Beautiful.
pitch marks in it.
Gorgeous.
I see something
That's,
in there.
of course, the end grain inside it's very much the same.
Oh, it's got an
That's
animal
I
in it. I
use
can see it.
my typical wax finish. The Axe is what I use. But any wax is put on there. After abrasive paste, you get that up to 1,000 or so. It just comes out tremendous.
Beautiful.
So,
Yeah, it looks nice, Doug.
Yeah, it does.
Looks
Those
like
pitch
cherry.
pockets just give it so much cool character.
it really
Yeah, right.
did. When I first started working on it, of course, I started working on the bottom, and it's about an inch shorter than what it started out to be. But I ran into a big pitch pocket that I had to take out, right where my tenon would be. So I had to get back beyond that to get rid of it, have a good tenon. So anyway, my bottom's just slightly different than what I had envisioned, but it worked out really well. The end grain with that darkness it just came out real nice. But it's already darker than where it started. It's a lot redder, and it'll just get redder and redder as it ages.
Yep.
So came out pretty fair.
Yeah, good job. And actually, it's you know, it's good that you ran into that pitch problem, because it allows you to get that reduction in height. That height right there works.
Yeah, well, in fact, sitting on the table, I was looking at it the other day. It could use about another 1.5 inches off, but I can't go any shallower at this point. So, but it came out okay.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Beautiful.
All right. Have I missed anybody that had something to show here, and I missed them in chat?
Mark Soleil had something.
Ooh, oh, Mark Soleil. Let's get him.
Can you hear me?
Out there? I
We
can
can
hear
hear you.
you.
Okay,
Now, if
well-
I can just find you.
Let me go.
Here you are on your
Let me
iPhone.
come here.
There he is.
Let me go in the other
There he
room.
is.
Oh,
Yes.
we'll go. Turn on the light. Here we go. Let me turn my phone around. There we go.
Oh, that's pretty.
That is
Very nice, Mark.
a nice urn. And the lady's coming tomorrow to pick it up. Her husband died. And it's all threaded.
Very nice.
Oh, my.
Nice.
That's gorgeous, Mark.
Wow.
And
Ambrosia maple.
that is ambrosia maple, yeah.
That's pretty.
It's really pretty all the way around.
It really is.
Uh-huh.
You chase those threads?
No, it's a Baxter threading machine. I do them.
Okay.
Wow.
That looks nice.
I do them all on the Baxter thread thing, and that's African blackwood, and that's Gaboon ebony on the finial.
Did you
Nice.
seal the hole? Did you seal the holes in it from inside? Or?
No, I sealed them from the outside.
Okay, so the holes are sealed.
The holes are sealed. You take ebony dust. You just put it in there with super glue before you do your sanding,
Yep.
and
That'll
everything.
work.
If you look at them, you'll see they're all plugged up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see them. I don't know if you
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want the ashes falling out.
No, that's
You
beautiful.
want a
Mark.
giant pepper shaker.
Yeah, I figure she wouldn't be very happy. She walked across the room and it had dust coming out of it.
Very nice, Mark. Pretty wood.
Job.
That's gorgeous.
That looks great, Mark.
And that, it's finished with one coat of Parfix 3408 and buffed with Vonex.
Mastering.
I know a guy that can tell you how to do that.
Oh, I know, right? I know a guy who can sell you some.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to order some. I haven't done it yet.
Oh, Billy, you haven't done so?
Nope.
Yeah, I need some too.
Procrastinator.
Uh-huh.
Boy, that's great stuff. I don't hardly use anything else.
Don't do it. Once you do it, it's like going on a cruise ship. You're screwed for life.
Tell me about it.
That's it. I'm telling you.
Billy, when you do, get the 2-ounce bottles instead of the 8-ounce bottle.
Why is that?
Well, that way you only have one bottle open at one time.
Oh,
Yeah, I can send it either
Just
way.
less exposure. Unless you go through a lot of CA, you know.
it depends on what I'm doing, but sometimes I do.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I do too sometimes.
That CA still goes a long way.
I like the 2-ounce bottles.
I've
really
got a live
convenient.
oak vase I'm working on. I emptied an entire 2-ounce bottle in.
Wow.
It's a pretty big vase though.
Yeah.
I started out with that piece of live oak. I was going to do a 6-sided vase, but it was just that weighed about 15 pounds, and there's no way I was going to turn that off angle that way. It took my 35-20 and bounced it across the shop almost. And I thought, nope, this ain't going to work.
Huh.
So I chickened out.
It's beautiful, Mark.
Yes, absolutely gorgeous.
Well, it's amazing. I've got, every now and then I get some good, ambrosia. This was got a long time ago because I had it turned. And when people come, I just let them, I just take a whole bunch of pre-turned urns and just let them look, right? And then that tell me which one I want me to finish for them,
Right.
Well, that piece is awesome.
yeah,
With that ambrosia all the way around. Wow.
Oh, I know.
Man, you should see
That
this.
along with the vaulting. Ooh.
You should see the stuff I've got in my truck right now. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But anyway, that's what it's all about.
All right, very good. Appreciate it, Mark.
Gorgeous
I'm
work as always.
gonna hit you up for a demo later on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm staying healthy. I'm going down to do a demo at Peach State Woodturners tomorrow night. And they just want me to totally horrify them.
Yeah.
I was there last month and they wanted me back again this month because I do things a little bit different way, and I show people all my specialty tooling and things like that.
Right.
It's a lot of fun.
Sure is. You're a lot of fun, and you learn a lot from you. We're
Well,
blessed.
thank you very much. But I've turned 80 now, so
No way, you're 80 now?
yep. So I go every day, but things are starting to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, everybody, I'm sometimes here and sometimes not here, but
I'll give you
I
a
appreciate
call
it.
when I get back.
Qualified wood turners. I really appreciate it. There's a lot of young people that are starting to come to these meetings again. And I don't know what happened. I guess everybody's over this COVID stuff or whatever. And I was at Peach State. I think they had like 6 new people. I was up at Atlanta Wood Turning Guild, and there was like 13 new people that night. It was crazy. It was. It's really good.
Yeah, it is. That's good. That's good to hear. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. You stay
All right.
healthy and take care of yourself.
All right. You all do that too.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Thank
let's
you,
go
Mark.
to wow, we got this guy called Captain Eddie. I'm really not sure if he's the one I'm meaning to go to. Normally there's a different name there. Let's Captain Eddie.
Well, a little preoccupied,
is.
pardon me.
In the flesh.
Hey, folks, let me tell you, we got a lot coming up here. Pardon me. We have a lot coming up here on Worldwide Wood Turners. And this is just a little quick preview of what's coming up. We have some gallery displays scheduled for this year. And I don't know if I'm not getting right image, but
I think you got it.
okay.
You got the
Our first one's coming up just in a couple of weeks. It's called Show Me Your Crotch. And Brenda says she's not going to participate in that one. But we looking to see what you've turned with a crotch. And it doesn't matter if we've seen it before. We want to see it now in the special gallery display on February 15th. Then we booked one up that says Lay Some Wood Eggs. That's coming up for April 5th. Gnomes will be a week later on April 12th. The Cannon Challenge is coming up on June 28th. And here's a new one, Plates and Platters. Now, plates and platters means big and little. And that means if you screw up on a platter, you can keep shaping on it until it becomes a plate. And then you keep shaping on it until it becomes a tea saucer. And then, well, at some point you have to quit shaping on it. But that's our gallery displays we have coming up in the future. And I like to say gallery displays versus challenge, because the challenge is in here where you are in your heart. And if you decide you want to turn something, it's going to be the best thing in the world, and you know it. So all we're giving you a chance is to show off, brag, show us what you came up with. And there's no entry fee, there's no prizes. It's just that we want to see what you do. And I'm looking forward to the Plates and Platters. I hope I can get back in the shop before it comes up. I've got some awesome ideas on platters, awesome ideas. And I stole them all from you folks. And that's because we do the gallery each week and we get to show this off each week. And we get to explain things. Mark Soleil was just nice, and he sees an improvement in attendance at club meetings. Yeah, we do too. We're at 91 tonight, and that's pretty good. We've ran it to 104, 105, but that's when you wood turners invite your friends to join us. And that's what we'd like you to do. Invite your friends, invite your club. There's no membership fee, and we're not aligned with anybody that you have to worry about. If I belong to two groups and I'm going to offend one, well, I know turners that belong to 5 or 6 wood turning clubs, and they have to schedule this when they have time in a month to attend them, and that's it. I tell you what, ours is great because every single time we meet, Dave Rhodes puts it on our website. Every single time we have a chat, Dave Rhodes edits it and puts it on our website. Whenever you have photographs of your work, if you send it to us, we put it on our website. We also use it in our newsletter. And I turned out the newsletter a little bit early, about 3 days early last week. I'm having a continuity problem, okay? And I was getting done with it and I thought, okay, before I clean forget what's going on here, I want to publish it. I did. I must have said woo-woo over me too many times because I must have 40 photographs from this week. And I mean, they're just coming in left and right. And I love it. I love it. Some of the things we're seeing are just awesome. So if you're not seeing the newsletter, we publish it only on Facebook. It's under the club's name. It's under my name. If somebody else wants me to publish it there on their name or their club's name or whatever, let me know. I can send you the document. You can do it. We love it. It's got the work and the names. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you send it to me, don't send it to me with your nickname. You know, if I don't really want to say this has been turned by Bubba George, when your name isn't even George. So it's favorable if you put your name in. And somebody said something the other day, looking at the list of participants, and we can all get that in the chat. Why don't folks put the town behind their name? The town that they're in, put it behind there. I got Doug Miller in Kentucky. I got Charlie Bundy in Grand Rapids. Doug Miller again in Kentucky. But that'll give you a better idea where these turners are. If you make more than club site relationship with them, or you want to say, okay, that guy's in Mississippi. I'm not too far from Mississippi. Let me see if I can get a hold of him and get such, or talk about this or trade that. That's what we have. It's a contact list. We hope to share out information. And Dave, our webmaster, has included a new barter or trading session. Dave, what are you calling it again?
I think we're calling it the barter for wood.
All right, barter for wood. And that's an unsponsored event. And we prefer you not to sell things on it. Let's do some honest goodness trading on it. And we want to see how it works out. If it gets a little bit loosey-goosey crazy, it's your club. We can get rid of it. We're not married to it. We don't have any sponsors, really. But this is give you a chance. Somebody said earlier they have all this walnut. I think it was Brenda has all that walnut.
Yes.
Yeah, not that I'd rat her out or anything, but if you got someone like that, and you'd like to trade it off to get some, what was she looking for? Some a maple or something to do her chest pieces, which are coming out really nice. If you need to do something like that, you have it. I mean, a while back, I said I wanted something, and Tim Hatch sent it to me the next day, and I don't think I've ever paid him back. But we have that barter, so it's everything you want to see in a club. We're here for. And tonight we're almost not ready for it, but is Safety Sue out there this evening?
Yes, Safety Sue is there.
All right, we're going to do Safety
I
Sue.
was just questioning her if she's ready to do safety after this little interlog here.
Yeah, all right.
I'm
We're going
ready.
to do Safety Sue, and then lo and behold, strap up tight, get ready. Doug Rowe is in the house.
Yes, he is.
And if he comes on with any, I want to put limits on it, but he's never followed the limits before. So let's go to Safety Sue and see what she's got.
All right. All right, Sue.
Can you find me?
Of course.
Hi there,
I can
guy.
find you.
So I want to talk tonight about a blog on the AAW. I got this, I get emails from them and that. We all do if you belong to it. And it's a safety blog about some guy said that he did this on his lathe where he was adjusting the tool rest with the lathe running, and he was turning a live edge. And his thumb got caught between the live edge and the tool rest. And lo and behold, after much dire medical attention, he had several stitches. Now, this was the question on the blog. How can I move my tool rest safely while the lathe is running?
Oh my God. What a stupid question.
What was unbelievable was all these turners writing in the blog telling them, well, this is what I do when the lathe is running. And adjust your tool rest from the bottom of the tool rest. That way you're not up there with the live edge piece.
There's your AAW for you.
Yeah, it was amazing to me. One guy finally said he gave the way he does it with the lathe running. And but it's only safe if you turn the lathe off.
I was going to say, nobody said turn the lathe off. Good golly.
Right.
So
that's
yeah. I'm not a blog person, but I wrote in there. I said,
I know you would.
Yeah.
I would have had to.
Yes. I mean, it was unbelievable. I said, you're responsible for your own safety, but the only safe way is to turn the lathe off, adjust your tool. And someone just shared their screen with me. But
I'm trying to get it out. There you go.
Okay. So anyways, I told them the only way is to turn off your lathe.
Right.
And you're only talking 30 seconds. I mean, turn off the lathe, adjust your tool thing, turn it back on.
So did anybody address, why he got his thumb whacked?
No, because he asked specifically safe ways so that he wouldn't whack his thumb with the tool running.
Well, I hope everybody knows they're supposed to keep their hands on the inside section of the tool rest. It's not supposed to. Your hand ain't supposed to extend out beyond the tool rest. It's beyond me.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, and so I just had to address it.
I think somebody should have invited that guy to list his lathe on Craigslist because he didn't
right
at that point.
I agree. I
tell you what, Mr. Duxbury's got the proper response on this. Natural selection at its finest.
Yes.
I've been there. You can't rectify that. Just give up. Give up. You want to put your nose on it, you're going to get your nose knocked off.
So I ask you a question, and this is not about safety, but the Florida Symposium starts on Friday. Who's going?
Not I, said the blind man.
Too far for
No.
me.
I
Can't
know
travel.
it's too
I
far.
got
for you.
enough miles. I got enough miles on me already.
I spent all my money in Columbus.
Good for you. But anyways, I'm going. I am going. Because it's only an hour from my place. It's the closest it's ever been, so I'm going.
Well, have great
You'll
fun.
enjoy it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had a similar discussion with some folks in person about. I often use an overhand grip on my tools, as opposed to having my hand underneath, riding the tool rest underneath the tool. And I mean, it's probably a bad habit to begin with, but the discussion came up where you have to make sure that if your hand is on top of your tool, it never, again, like you guys said, it never goes past the tool rest. You don't want it between the tool rest and the piece of wood, ever.
Yeah.
So even if it's on top of the tool, you don't want it up there. And I mean, you guys have watched me demo, so I have on occasion changed the tool rest when the lathe was running, but I know as well that it's, I've always said something whenever I've done that. Don't do this, turn your lathe off, change your tool rest, but I still shouldn't do it in the demo. But you're right.
Hey, Sue.
Yes.
Have you checked to see who all is going to be at that symposium you're going to next week?
You mean demonstrators?
What, just set up and who all's going to be there? The one I went to last week in Columbus, there was a lot of the vendors that weren't even there no more.
Really?
Oh yeah, Carter.
Yeah.
Carter was not there. So I didn't get to see
From what I could see,
Alex Snodgrass. I didn't get another reindeer. They weren't there.
well, we're going to Keith Lorette, Nick Agar, Rudy Lopez.
Nick Agar alone is worth going to see him.
Yes, he is.
Yes. Yes,
I
he
have
is.
everything marked up. I'm going to see him at least twice. And then
Good.
Kent Harris, Mark Gardner, Jack Roberts, Carol Hall. I want to go see what he's got going. Jack Roberts.
Carol usually has a good demo.
Yes, hers are beyond round and brown, pour painting in black, white, gold, and rainbow. So I'm looking forward to those. David Ellsworth is going to be there.
Oh, that'll be worth it.
That's a good demo.
Yeah, and Kent Weekly will be there.
And Nick Agars, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Nick is a very creative thinker, and he is always out of the box on stuff. It's worth it.
We have Nick coming to our group in Tallahassee on his way back from the Florida Symposium.
Cool.
So we're excited about that.
Oh, good for you.
When you get to talking to him, Safety Sue, invite him to join us.
Yeah. I will do that.
If he'd like to do an hour or so to show us work, technique, or whatever, I'd welcome him. I mean, I put up with him at one or two of his demos. I've sat through 4 in a row, but it's an okay guy. I'd like to see that. We've had some very interesting demos of that kind in recent history, and I'd like to go back to doing that. Turn off the lathe. Isn't that a simple? It's like stupid attracts stupid. That's what you had going on there. Really.
Yeah.
I want to be dumb. Can you beat me? Yeah.
Here, hold my beer, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is as stupid does.
Brenda, did you say Alex was not in Columbus?
Alex Snodgrass.
Brenda.
Carter Products did not show up when they were supposed to have shown up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, sorry. I was muted. Yeah,
That's
they
right.
weren't there.
Alex is on a tour right now of Woodcraft
Right.
Store giving classes.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
He was just here on the West Coast like a week or two ago, and he's working his way back that way. So
okay. So he's not doing the woodworking shows right now then?
no,
No.
he's visiting woodcraft stores all across the nation on a tour.
Yeah.
So
First time I met him was at the Columbus show.
Me too.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sue, I got some help. I got you some help. Ron Radliff out of Washington. He's going to be with Nick. And I think he said an all-day demo at the Northwest Washington State sponsored club. And see, we could put the hook on Ron to talk to him too. You know, hey, the more of us ask, you know, he's got to cave in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Keep nagging him.
He's been listening to it for years, so he's not going to fold to that. You know, he puts on some awesome demos and he does his unique little pieces, but he never shows just how he actually does it because, you know, that's a close, guarded secret in his terms. So
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, you know,
pieces, Dane?
interesting.
Dane, you wrote Yahoo here. Which pieces are you talking about that he does?
Well, no, I'm just saying his Gee Whiz, Wahoo, Yahoo pieces.
Well, which ones?
Well, I'm not saying anything in specific.
Okay. I know how he does all of it. I know
any of his Gee Whiz pieces. You know,
how he does all of the things that I've seen him make.
Yeah.
So far. But okay.
He does cool stuff. I've just got a different opinion. So
okay, fair enough.
Yep.
Sue, thank you so much for Safety Suit tonight. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
All right.
I got a question for you, Captain.
What's that?
Did you ever do anything with that piece of sapele I sent you?
I have it on a block and I'm ready to turn it. As soon as some medical people agree, I'll go back in the shop.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
It's a
You take
continuity
care of
problem.
yourself, too.
Yeah. Hey, I got news for everybody. If you hadn't caught on yet, coming up 2023, we're going to have a little gathering in Waco, Texas. Yeah, we're going to get together people from all kinds of clubs and all kinds of places all over the world, and we're going to call it SWAT. And it's going to be August 26, 25, 26, and 27. It's going to be in SWAT this year. Tickets went on sale in. How did tickets go on sale in March? Come on, Tim, help me out here. This is January.
Last year, Cap Meddy, they went on sale in March. So keep your eye out on the website I posted there and look for tickets.
Yeah, because you get me
175 for the first person, and if you brought your wife or spouse with you, it was another 100. So it was 275 for a great weekend, meals included. I can't say enough good things about SWAT.
Can't either. It's like going home with friends you like. Really is. So thank you for the update. All right. Do you think he's ready, Dane? Is there a chance?
I would imagine.
Ready.
You know, the first sergeant is ready. Doug, let's see what Doug said. Are you ready?
That's that's Professor Rowe. Get it right. That's Professor Rowe.
We want to make sure we have on short sleeves. Okay. We gotta have our shield. Gotta have our dust mask.
Good job.
When you're choosing a shirt, if you watch old episodes of Gilligan's Island, a Mary Ann style shirt.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Sometimes your shorts can get too long, so you gotta use.
Oh my
God. My eyes will never be the same.
I thought this was supposed to be a family program.
Oh my God.
Captain, I thought you had this handled.
Gosh.
Throw money.
Some things you just can't unsee, Doug.
Oh no.
Nightmares tonight.
I hope
Yeah,
you ain't
you and
starting
me
a new
both.
fashion trend for
Those look like-
demonstrators.
Oh,
It's part of the demo. It's all good. We got 91, so let's go. Let's
All right.
go.
Drop
The
down tonight.
demo tonight.
If
is-
Doug
We
keeps
just, hey,
dressing
five
like
people.
he did, we'll be losing them left and right.
We just lost five, right? We lost five right then.
The ones I'm worried about, the ones that stayed with us.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, we sure did, didn't we? Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so tonight's demo, we'll jump into it. It's on a hollowing system. There's a lot of different hollowing systems out there. I've only ever owned this one made by Carter. I am not sponsored by Carter. Carter's not paying me to give you this demo tonight. It just happens to be the hollowing system I have. I'm going to be demonstrating, I guess what's commonly referred to as open hollowing versus closed hollowing. Closed hollowing, you get that tiny little hole, go in and then take out the sides. And somehow you just have this tiny hole, but a really light piece because you hollowed it all out. Open hollowing, think of it more as any vessel, bowl, whatever. It's just, it's so deep that your bowl gouge is hanging too far over the tool rest and you're getting to the point where you're about to uppercut yourself. This hollowing system that I use works really well for that. It'll work for closed hollowing as well, but that's what I'll be showing. I think most of you, probably all of you, are familiar with a bird's mouth bowl. I've used it on my large bird's mouth bowls that I've done. Recently, I turned a piece that was similar. How should I say it? I turned it in the same direction that you would turn a bird's mouth bowl, meaning the log was perpendicular to my spindle instead of going parallel with my spindle. But I didn't really shape it like a bird's mouth bowl. But when it was all said and done, I think it looks more like a dead fish bowl. Dead fish bowl because of the natural edge. So see, doesn't it? I think it's a dead fish. Anyways, this one, I might have got away with just doing it with my tool rest and getting my bowl gouge in there because I wasn't crazy deep on this one. It is about 7 inches. I don't know if you guys can see that ruler or not. So yeah, I could have stuck a smaller tool rest on my banjo and probably got down in there. This piece I showed a long time ago when I did it. I referred to it as the prettiest, ugliest thing I'd ever made. Ugly because of the shape, pretty because of the colors. I also referred to it as a base that would look good for Morticia Adams from the Adams family. But this is crazy deep. There's no way I could have done that just off of a tool rest. So on the high side here, this bad boy is almost 10.5 inches deep. I'd have never been able to hang on to my bowl gouge going that far. If you can, great, but there's no way I could have. So my hollowing system worked really well to allow me to get that deep. So I'm gonna back up the camera here and I'm gonna show it to you full on from setup. So from where the lathe is at. And by the way, the piece of wood that we're gonna do this on, I turned it round on Facebook Live yesterday. And then I did post it in the Worldwide Woodturners Facebook page as well. So if you want to see what the original piece of wood looked like, you can go back and check that out. I'm trying to get this far enough back to where you can pretty much see the whole lathe. Okay. I do have a steady rest on there. That's also from Carter. The steady rest really isn't in the ideal position. I'd like it further. However, I reached maximum capacity on the steady rest. So what I actually had to do was take the arms all the way off, put it back where it was behind the bowl, put the arms back in, and then bring it forward. It's probably not even helping me too much where it's at, but it gives me good moral support being there. All right. So right now I could keep turning this bowl with just the regular tool rest. There's plenty of room there to use a regular bowl gouge. But by doing it this way and with the bowl being this far open, I think it's going to let everybody see the system a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and set it up. So the first thing is to remove
your tool rest from the banjo. And then the hollowing system, if you will, or the roller system, it's what is the captive system that holds the bar and allows you to go deep with all that torque. It just goes right in your banjo, just like so.
Hey, Doug, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is the bar, does it have flat sides or is it completely round? The one that goes into the tool.
One flat side, and I'll show that here in just a second.
All right.
So with this system, I'm gonna take you off the tripod here for a second, so it'll be a little shaky. It comes with the holler roller system that you just saw me put in the banjo. And then it has a cool little stop block on there. So you'll set that, you'll play around with your lathe, right, to get it set wherever your center is. And there's been times I've had to make little fine adjustments here and there to get it really dialed in. But for the most part, it's there. Okay. Now, ideally, we want to start with a Forstner bit, right? And get a hole in there. A lot of times your vessel is too far though, and your Jacob's chuck, it's just not going to get down there as far as you want it to go. Carter has a tool for that. So here's one of their bars. So flat side, round side. They make a jig that will go on the bar that allows you to attach your Forstner bit. So I can go really far. They make another jig that goes on the end of your bar so it fits into your tailstock. Now, I have to caution you about this. Something that happened to me was I purchased this, used it once, hadn't used it for a really, really long time, and forgot that this went in my tailstock. I was trying to put the handle on here, going, why doesn't it fit? How come I can't remember how to do this? Now, Carter doesn't sell this extra product. You're going to have to go find this one on your own. I happen to have one. It's called a friend named Doug Miller. So Doug Miller's watching me struggle on Facebook Live and types in the comments, I think that goes in your tailstock. Yeah, I felt a little dumb, but thanks, Doug.
Only listen
That day. So this little jig won't fit through the hauler roller. So it's real fast. We're just going to pop this bad boy off. Like so. Drop it to check its durability. So yeah. Flat side down, obviously. Put my tailstock jig back on there. Tighten that back up.
So is that the proper name of that tailstock jig?
Sure. I don't know.
You don't know?
You can find something like that at littlemachineshop.com.
So is that a
It almost
5/8
looks
inch?
like something. It almost looks like something you'd call a tailstock extension, number 2 MT extension or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And then just like your Jacob's chuck, there it is. But I have plenty of room to go as far as I want. But now wait, this thing's gonna get a little bouncy way out here, right? So then you grab the tool rest that comes with the system. You find your sweet spot for that. And I'm probably gonna have to make a quick adjustment because I had this adjusted for the other bar. Shoot, let's talk about that. Okay. So that bad boy, just like so. And then we tighten this on there. go. Now I'm gonna bring this back up. I want it to be flush to take any bounce out of the bar. Grab my shield, turn my speed off, turn. And I'm just
Make
gonna
sure
work
the force
just like I
not
would have
touching
kitchen.
the wood.
Oops, hold on 1 minute. I don't have one thing lined up quite right. That would have got a little stressful for me and the bar.
Yeah.
Take your time.
You take your time too, Doug. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, I just have to talk about some things. Hey, look, that looks more like center.
There you go. So are you getting that position to sit to the right side of the tool rest that's in the yoke?
His microphone may be killing on it because
Yeah.
of the sound of the lake.
Gotcha.
Being that far extended from the rest, do you get a lot of lateral play, left and right play?
With not really. You just got to get it dialed into where you feel comfortable, where everything's tight for you the way you like it. There we go.
It's off center because there's no holding it horizontally on center.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I was wondering what kind of lateral movement you get.
And
Did he
we're gonna
say
get that.
how fast he's spinning?
You broke up. Couldn't hear you.
Did he say how fast he was spinning?
Not too fast. I think I had it right at about 400, maybe 390 something. Not too quick. All right, so now we're gonna take our small bar out. And this small bar is perfectly capable of everything I'm gonna do with the larger bar. Larger bar just goes further into the vessel. And for me, it's just easier to leave all my force set up on this bar and not have to change it all the time and do all my cutting with the second bar that I'm about to show you. Okay, so comes with a nice, this thing is heavy, it's got weight to it. It's flat side, right side, flat side down. I'm gonna be using their straight cutter for now. This is high-speed steel, it's not carbide. You sharpen it like you would any. And anyways, we'll get to cutting some wood. Oh,
Rotate a little bit more. Rotate your tripod. Rotate your tripod a little bit more.
And it hits the tailstock. So just slip
So
that right.
Doug, rotate your tripod for the camera a little bit more towards the headstock, and your microphone speakers are cutting out on you.
Okay. How about now?
That's great.
So with this one, I'm going to show you from this angle first. So this bar, what I really like about this one, it does just slip right in. And then adjust it. So I have my stop block set up for this particular bar. And now that tool rest down there is going to be too high, so I'll lower it down here in just a second. Where did I just set that right here?
You're off camera, Doug.
Oh, give me just a second. I'm just adjusting my little tool rest here.
And that's the tool rest that supports the cutter end.
And this bar also has a flat side, right?
It does. Without the flat side, it would have way too much torque.
Yeah, I was wondering how the capture system caught it, so kept it from catching. So it's the flat side that does it.
Right.
Yeah, because my system is somewhat similar, but it has a D bar, and the D bar, it's like that's what catches it, keeps it from flipping. So, yep, got it. Okay.
I have ordered, but I have not gotten yet. It's actually supposed to come in today, of course. Carter makes a swan neck, just like your regular handheld hollowing tools.
Yep.
They make these big long bars, but in a swan neck to do those closed hollowing.
Closed hollowing.
Yep. Now that's just a scraper on the end of that, right?
Literally just a scraper. It's a high-speed scraper. It's not carbide. So I just take it over to the mill and sharpen it. And let me show you a cool little jig that so this is another little deal I got from them. And that hole right there with this set screw, I take that cutter off.
Right.
Grinding jig.
And just like that on my platform, just like I would any other scraper. It's perfect.
If I might make a suggestion, Doug.
Sure.
I switched from a very similar carbide scraper to using the AZ carbide little hogger, and it made hollowing a lot smoother. So that's something to think about in the future.
What kind of cutter?
What's that?
What kind of cutter did you change over to?
The AZ carbide little hogger.
Okay.
Can you put that in the chat?
Yeah, I will.
That's
then
a 6 millimeter, right?
Yeah, the small one just does wonders. I mean, it's cutting rather than scraping, so it's at an angle and stuff. It works really well.
Now
But
with
that,
this
that works good too.
thing that I've got to caution you on, and I have messed this up myself. It's not usually a showstopper, but it'll jump in, give you the chilly willies. But you see the bar, how it drops right here.
Yep.
Okay. So when
Stay
I
away from that.
set it up, if I have this tool rest too close to my vessel, and right now I can get closer, I'm a little far away. But if I have it too close, when I'm coming back, it drops. You see how it does that? And that'll make you jump sometimes. So right now we are going to get this a little bit closer though before we turn the lathe back on and get cutting. We're going to go about right there, I think. They make several different cutters to go on these bars. I've only ever used this one and their round scraper. I have their teardrop one ordered, and I have one of their carbide cutters ordered. I just haven't gotten them yet. This, and then one more thing. So with this scraper, I can adjust the angle however I want. I just loosen the set screw and I can turn this bad boy wherever I want. So if I'm trying to get straight onto the bottom of the bowl, then of course I would just turn it so it's straight. I've tried 90 degrees and it gets really grabby for me. So I like a little off, maybe not quite 45, but somewhere a little offset, not quite 90 degrees.
Yeah, then you'd use the 90 degrees if you were like undercutting the rim of a vase or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so shield down. We're gonna have to pick up the. Now, I don't know how it looks from your guys' angle, but the hole where I cut it with the force, because it was bouncy before I got it set straight, the hole's not straight. I thought the whole vessel was wobbling for a minute. I thought, uh-oh, here we go. It's about to take flight, but it's just the center is the top of the vessel's fine. But if you look at what's going on?
Doug, what size is your cutter?
Say that again.
What size is that cutter? Is it the 3/16?
It's pretty small, so that's probably a good guess. I don't know off the top of my head, but
looks like it.
I thought it looked like quarter.
Here we go.
Well, we're both close.
Yeah, but a quarter's grabbier.
Depends on how you sharpen it, I suppose, how you grind it.
Sharpening, presentation. Yep.
Well, they're just more cutter there, a little wider.
Okay, is he pushing it in or pulling it out, or both?
Both. Push in
yeah,
and,
both.
and he's pulling out.
Okay.
I've actually had more success pulling rather than pushing.
Okay.
Just because you already got the hole there. So you can.
So he's doing a combination.
Easier.
So when he was up on the rim, it looked like he was pushing, and now that he's a little bit deeper, it looks like he's pulling out.
Okay.
Yeah. I
if
agree.
you,
So,
if you
it'll
push,
work
you can,
both ways. It's like a typical scraper. You'll get a nice cut on either motion, whether you're pushing or pulling.
So with this tool, I can, or the way the shape of this cutter is, I can do push, I can pull either way because it's symmetrical. Whoops, there it is.
Okay.
I grind on it's symmetrical.
It's like a bullnose scraper. Round scraper. Hey, Brent, welcome.
Oh, I meant to say, when I was looking at the chat, there was somebody in there that said, the Bears, I think his name was Ford. Where are you out in Arizona that you called yourself on the west coast of Arizona? Lake Havasu or something?
Yeah, he's out by Kingman.
Out by Kingman?
Bullhead City. That was going to be my third city to say their award.
You see, I'm gonna try and bring the phone up closer so you guys can see the actual cutter.
Okay, sounds good.
Let me,
And hey, Doug, he's from Bullhead City.
Bullhead City, all right.
Down on the river. Knock those shavings out of the way. So, hey, Doug, as you're turning, so hey, Doug, what speed are you turning at?
Let me see. I'll look in just a second when I turn it back on. I think I was in the 9s. $9.42.
9:42. That's a good speed for a piece like that. Turn at the speed you're comfortable with. So he's doing a nice pull cut here.
Uh-huh.
And for the size of that cutter bit, he's doing short work of the wood there. That's pretty good. So now he's doing a push cut. And that's typical of shavings coming from a round nose scraping bit.
And so you can get some shavings. They're not going to be as good as you'd get with a bull gout, but you can get some.
It looks like a fairly dry piece of mesquite based on the dust that's being generated. Just natural.
I need to move my banjo just a second. So just, yeah.
Hey Doug, what kind of wood you got on there? Is that mesquite?
It's Palo Verde.
Palo Verde. Okay.
And again, if you guys go onto our Facebook Worldwide Woodturners page, I have the piece before I ever started turning it. And then it was a really long live video. Fast forward through it by all means. But I in the whole video, I take it from original down to this shape right here.
Doug, what's your grain orientation?
I also turned this one like a bird. No, did I? Yes, I did. Like a bird's mouth bowl. So it's where's my piths? Here's the main pith here. And there's the other here. So the log would have been, the log is turning this way instead of end grain. I just changed up the shape so it's not bird mouth bowl right now. Okay, so I've gotten all the way down to the Forstner bit went. And I want to show you what that distance really is. Again, with a bowl this size, if I had my normal tool rest on here, obviously I could turn my tool rest and still get deep in there. But
Hey Doug, you got a tenon on that?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
So from where my tool rest is to the bottom of the bowl, I'm about a little, we'll call it 7 3/4, right? So let's see what that would look like if I put one of the bowl gouges on. I mean, almost my entire bowl gouge. Now, obviously I could bring my tool rest up a little bit more. That would give me probably almost 3 more inches right there. And again, with a bowl this size, I can turn my tool rest, stick my tool rest in there, and that gets me pretty far down in there. But when you're turning one of the vessels like this vase that I did, well, I don't really have a tool rest that I can turn to stick all the way down in there. And so this is where this system really helps me out a lot. And again, there's a lot of these different systems out there. You just got to look and see which is, the best one for you. This one, I bought it brand new. Actually, here's how I saved money buying this one. This is a technique you can use if you have children. You give your kids money and you tell them what to buy you for Christmas. Then it doesn't feel like you spent all that money on it. It's a technique that I use. So,
what's your kids' addresses?
Not my address anymore. They're moved out.
Yeah. How about that?
All right. So At this point now, I kind of did a pretty good guesstimate as how far I shoved that Forstner bit in there, and I didn't really measure it. So that was just some dumb luck right there. I'm not going to go much deeper. I am just going to start working this out now. Now, if you didn't watch the video of me turning this, let me show you what the scary part of this piece of wood is. Let me take you off the tripod here again. Doug Miller saw this here. I'm going to flip my camera so I can see what I'm showing you. There we go. So it just looks like a normal piece of wood right there, right? It's all good. Oh no, we got a little crack right there. Who cares? That's nothing CA can't fix. Uh-oh, this gets a little crazy. So anyways, hopefully it doesn't blow apart. I'm hoping to turn the inside thin enough that this opens up and will act like a window right in here. It's just how strong is this all going to be? That looks really weak. So, and that's what I was about to say. So the fix for that, when I start getting into the scary zone, you just wrap it with duct tape or quite a few layers of packing tape, electrical tape, something that's just gonna, it's not gonna stop it probably from breaking, but it stops it from launching across your shop. Oh, I need to turn you guys back around.
Just throw caution to the wind.
Just throw caution to the wind. There we go.
So Doug, I got to ask on a vessel that's in that type of fashion, you're going to be experiencing wall flex when you start working on your walls here?
If I go
the
to
center
the
mass
wind,
is removed.
Yeah. And so there again, I don't know that I would be able to, this one will never work out to be like one of those 3/8 thin bowls or whatever. It'll be thicker, it'll be heavier. And I'm okay with that. But you're right. If I got too thin, man, this thing would just start wanting to do that on you.
One of the ways to combat that is, instead of working from the center hole, is work from the top down into the center, from the top of the rim.
Right.
So that you keep things thin and you keep the bulk of the piece where you're turning between the headstock and where you're turning. So instead of hollowing out like he's doing now, you would go to the wall at the top of the piece, and then work your way deeper into the piece, going to the wall each time.
Yeah, I turn almost all of my bowls that way.
Yeah, that's how I do also.
Well, and hollow forms, even with the closed hole hollowing. Yes.
So you're saying I would start cutting here and almost leave like a cone in the middle?
Yes.
Well, no, you would work your way down, partially at a time, an inch or so at a time, working. You can do your hole in the center, but work your wall to your thin, if you want to do a thin vessel, work your wall to the final thickness, and then gradually, go down 1 inch, 1.5 inches at a time, but leaving your center mass in.
Play around with that. Let's play around with it and do it. What do we got to lose? Let's go.
All right. Well, don't go from the ridge of your hole to the actual rim. Move up to the rim and hollow to the wall, i.e. outward. Yeah, from there to the wall, and then work deeper, and from there to the wall, and then work deeper from there to the wall. And at some point you may have to widen your hole, but you're working, the point is you don't come back to the wall once you get it where it's thin, unless you're just sort of blending previous cuts with the current one. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying we're going to go ahead and start right about here.
Yep.
The thickness of the bowl was I wasn't going to open the mouth anymore in about here, otherwise I'm going to start breaking into this wall. So that's about why I go anyway.
Yeah, you'll have to make room to get your tool in there to get down to the wall.
Okay.
But the point is you don't go any deeper until you're almost to the wall. And this is where a laser comes in, where you can say, all right, I know where the tip of my tool is, and my wall thickness is now, a 1/4 inch or less or whatever. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. And here, actually, since I'm here now, I can show you what I was talking about what to be cautious where you set your tool rest with this system. So if I'm going to start my cuts right here, look at that.
Yeah.
So if I come back just a little too far, my tool drop on me.
Yeah,
So
coming
you
off
just want your
of the
tool
tool
to
rest
report back.
while you're in your while the tool is in your piece is a bad plan.
And it
Yeah.
makes me have to change my underwear. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah, you only have to do that once or twice before you don't forget it.
Yeah, you learn, huh?
Yeah, it's one of those experiential things. Hey, Doug.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, could you put that tool rest in your banjo and put the capture tool in the black sort of thing in the back? Could you switch where your banjo is with the black thing?
No, they're two totally different sizes. This is way small.
Okay.
That never fit in my banjo.
All right, thanks. I was curious. Okay, thank you.
All right. Fix my glasses, shield down, and let's start playing some more. See what we do. It can't be any worse than the bowling ball, right?
There you go. So going from the wall and working the wall dimension down, he's still got enough wood to keep it together. So
I need to figure out what's here. Something's not. Okay, that's running smoother now.
So you're saying instead of going from the center out, you're going from out towards the center.
you're going from the wall down to the center.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, and the reason being is you're keeping the wood mass inside the vessel, and that's what's holding the vessel together, and that's what prevents the flex on the walls when you get thin.
Okay.
And so you work to your final wall thickness to include doing any sanding, and then you do another inch and a half down, working towards the center.
I actually work the other direction that he's working. I go inward from to the wall from the center of the piece. So, I mean, you still have to, make room for your tool to fit into the piece, but you want to go to the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. You're going to the wall to the final thickness.
Yeah, but see, he's going the wrong the wrong direction, if you will.
Okay, so let's start over. Which way do you want me to go then?
So from here, can you go to the outer wall? Is there enough room to get your?
There is,
Man,
but
he's limited because he's got a big void right there, so he can't go any further over.
I
So
see.
that's his
Okay.
final wall dimension right there.
I'm not going any wider than.
And so from there, he's just working it down. That's his final wall dimension. So he's going to work it down based on that.
Okay. All right.
Once I get past this void, I could probably, play with the wall a little bit, make it have a kind of a cool angle. But if I go any thinner, I'm just going to bust through this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. And you've got the same bark area on the other side of the bowl too, on the other side of the piece. Yeah.
This
Okay.
is
Gotcha.
So we want to make a window.
Yeah. It seems like you will make a window.
Yeah. So, but if I understand you, Matt, if I was turning a traditional bowl without all this craziness in it, obviously I wouldn't leave the rim this thick. So I would be bringing it over, to wherever.
Yeah.
Then,
I mean, I turn a lot of pieces where I leave bark and I get voids that way. Just, so I consider that a feature.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's your piece and you're doing the work, man. I don't want to tell you how to do this.
Oh, this is a club bowl. We are turning this together.
All righty.
I just have tools. I don't say I know how to use them. I told you everybody needs a Doug Miller. I happen to have one. I found mine in Kentucky on Facebook. But
You're being awful loose with that name.
listen, you taught me how to sand properly. You taught me how to use this tool I spent a bunch of money on that I didn't know how to use. What would I do without you, Doug?
Punt.
I'm a little bound up. I think I'm getting too much sawdust in here. Hold on. Let me blow this roller up. That feels better. Okay, I think I'm down past it. So I'm going to make me a mark that hopefully I can see in there. I think right about there. That should look like a circle when it's spinning. So I don't know if you can see what I did. You see that black line right there? So I'm kind of guesstimating on where the bottom of this inclusion is, and then maybe go a little bit thinner down here. We'll see. Binding up again. I'm gonna put you guys on the other side.
almost to the inside of this hole right here.
Doing good, Doug. Take your time.
I'm gonna run out of air. I turned my compressor off so it wouldn't make a bunch of noise. And I'm using more than I thought I was going to.
No, that's fine. The Zoom will cancel out the noise.
What's that?
Zoom will cancel out the noise when the air compressor comes on.
Okay, I might have to go turn it on here in a minute. So I'm starting to actually get dust to come through these
Voids on the side.
through here now. So that's cool. We're getting there, but I'm not quite. So let me just what. I haven't quite busted through there yet. That's what we want to do.
What happens exactly when you break through the wall? Is that a problem, or does that just your tool just cut naturally?
It'll
The
just
tool
cut
just-
like you would
Yeah.
at any open segmented piece. The faster
It'll
you turn,
just-
you're going to be.
It'll just open up the void, and you want to have that void there so you can see through it.
Right. Yeah, I got that.
Yep.
The tool, when it's turning, though, it isn't gonna tear any
No.
amount of wood out or anything like that.
Well, no, and well, I mean, if you jam it in there, then it's going to
Well.
give you, no shipment moment. But
Yeah.
Well, but you can keep cutting though, and it'll widen
Yeah.
that hole,
Absolutely.
that cavity.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Think
as the
about that
walls,
big burl. Think about that big burl that I did over the summer. That was void on, left or right of the piece,
As
and
long as you
hollowed
don't
out.
get too aggressive.
Exactly.
as the walls get thinner, then that cavity will get wider, get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It will be framed.
If you guys look at my little I don't want to like interfere with Doug's thing here, but you can look at my little picture. I got a piece here where I went thin.
Where?
That lets the chips out too.
Yes, it
Yep.
does.
Hey, Matt, we can show your piece after that, okay?
Yeah, no problem. I'll wait. Not a problem.
Yep.
Just wanted to have something to show while we were talking about it.
Right. Yeah. Well, we want to keep the demo on, so.
Yep, exactly. Okay, no problem.
Yep. Okay.
Hey, I thought I was there, but I guess not. Sure feels like it's right there. Man, I hope I don't bust through this one first, but I do. Oh, well. And adjust my banjo here just so I can get a little bit better angle.
Mhm.
And that binding, not happy with that spot. Okay, let's try that. I found it. I found the hole.
Looking good, Doug.
Thanks.
You're almost through. You're almost through. So just keep working that sidewall there.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to turn my cutter though to get, because I'm missing the piece. Here, I'll bring the phone around and show you what's going wrong. So here's the cutter, yeah. But what's happening, in order to hit where we want to hit, my my piece that holds the cutter on, it's getting in the way right there.
So you can either, you could
turn
move
the
your
cutter.
capture system. Yeah, or
Yeah.
you could turn the cutter, or you could move your capture system so it was further out away, to the right, if you will.
Yeah, I
Like,
maxed it.
I mean, yeah, well, you can turn your banjo around though.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
actually,
so,
that might be
Oh, I
fast.
hadn't thought of that.
Actually,
so I mean, if you look at Carter's website, they actually show that. They show the banjo with the post on the other side.
Yeah.
And so that you can get that way out there so you can get underneath. So I don't know if you can actually do that quickly or not here, but I was looking at the Carter site to see. Yeah, like that.
See, you keep saying things that just amaze me because I would have never thought of doing that, turning the banjo around.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can get a much
Yeah,
crazier
wider
angle.
angle. Yeah.
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 Now, does it have to go, does that thing have to go that way, Doug, or could you have that lever on the other side, or would it get in the way?
Say that again.
For the blue Carter thing?
I think it does, just because I have two rollers on this side. I only have one roller on this side. So
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks.
I wouldn't have thought of spinning that banjo either.
Yeah, and it seems so simple once you've seen it, but it never would have dawned on me.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, on the Carter site, they show doing that. So, that must be something they do regularly. So it gives you a lot more angle.
That's one of those duh moments.
Yeah.
Frankly, guys, I wouldn't have thought of it earlier either.
It's messing with the binding, like it's not lining up for me, right? So I'm gonna now have to fix these adjustments real quick. So one of the other things when you get the set and you're setting it up with your instructions, it tells you to put a piece of paper, one piece of paper in here, drop it down, make it tight, and then slip the paper out, and that's how tight it should be. And of course, I don't have a piece of paper with me right now, but we're just gonna play around with this and see if we can get it's just binding up on me in there. And I'm sure it's because it didn't like the angle that we just adjusted it to. Let's get our freedom of movement.
Tolerances on the bar.
You want the bar to be able to move freely and smoothly in the rollers there.
Otherwise, you'll start pushing too hard and then it'll break free and then disaster happens. Go ahead and ask me how I know.
How do you know? How do you know?
I've had more than my share of "don't ask me how I know" this moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you guys can see, let me see, can I get the light better over there for you?
Oxy and my banjo to the bedways comes to mind.
Anyway, right about where my finger's coming through, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. That's where we're trying to break through. But
You can kind of see it. We saw it when you were on the other side. There it is.
There we go. Okay. Yep.
that's what we're trying to break through on. Are we way over our time?
No, you're fine, Doug.
Okay. All right, put my shield down. We're going again. Let me get my emergency stub where I can actually reach it.
There you go. That's what I was getting ready to suggest.
Yeah. I'm trying to be soft and gentle.
Yes. Got to be very mindful of the rim. Don't want to hook that. I've been away from my lathe so long, I feel like jumping in and grabbing a hold of that bar and doing the cuts myself.
Buddy, do I ever know that feeling?
Yeah, I ain't
bet you
saying
do,
I ain't saying a word.
It's a little bigger, but not as big as I wanted it to be.
Make those walls thinner and it'll get bigger.
No.
That's what you make Dremels for. Doug, how's your thickness on the other side?
Yeah, I'm
right there.
It's thin.
It's bouncing.
The rest of that might get turned out with a rotary tool, a Dremel tool.
There you go. Yeah. Don't push it.
Yeah.
You don't need to be making a new rim for it.
Well, I don't think that there's anything else really to demo tonight, unless you just want to sit here and watch me hog out how to do. But hopefully, what I wanted to get out of this was because there was enough people asking about the different albums. I've seen some on here. A lot of people on TikTok were asking about them and whatever. So then when Dane asked me to do a demo, I was kind of thinking, well, what do I do? We've seen me do colored pencils a bunch of times. We've seen me blow up a bowling ball. So I thought, well, let's do the hollow stuff and see if that entertains, gives somebody some ideas. And it's cool with Matt and Dane and everybody chiming in and coming up with different ideas and part of this club.
How's the
Yes.
motor attached to the lathe? With chuck or is it a, how do you have it fastened to your lathe?
With a chuck, there's a tendon on there. I have my 5-inch jaws on there. I went with a big tendon for this one, just because of the weight. I can pop the phone off the tripod and show you. There you are. And then when I originally did it, it was with a faceplate. It was with this big guy right here, real heavy duty faceplate. That actually comes with my Powermatic lathe. And then I went with some really heavy duty self-tapping steel screws. These are 3-inchers. So with 6 of these in there, I felt pretty comfortable with the faceplate and the tailstock to get it to essentially this shape on the outside. I didn't bother sanding it or even doing finishing cuts because I didn't know what was going to happen with it. But this thing's been sitting up on my shelf there forever. I've got it. Well, this summer, it's been a year since I've had this piece of wood. It came down in a storm at our, basically where our state headquarters is for the Arizona Army National Guard. We had a big monsoon come through like we always do, and Palo Verde's trees fall over like they always do. And the tree trimmer guys were out there cleaning it all up. And I said, hey, can I have a piece of that? And anyway, took that
They're
one
the
home.
biggest weed of Arizona.
They really are. Yep. They are everywhere.
Well, Doug, I gotta say, excellent demo, and thanks for sharing, the Carter Products captive boring hollowing system. Very interesting.
Yeah, cool
Especially the
demo. Doug.
bar. That was very cool about how they make their bar.
Great. I thought it was great.
All
good
right.
demo.
Like I said, they do make this kit for a smaller lathe. They don't just make the ginormous lathes like me and Dane have. If you have one of the smaller benchtop lathes or whatever. But when I was doing my research, watching YouTube videos, talking to other people, it's a really easy system to learn. Some of the other ones require a little bit more finesse, I guess, if you will, to get them to work right. And that's not me. I am not Mr. Finesse. I'm Mr. Let's shove it in there and see what happens. And so it's been a safe bet for me. The only thing I've ever broke on here getting too aggressive is the cutter. That happened because I didn't have it pushed in far enough. Too much of the cutter was hanging over and it snapped it right up. That's clearly user error. The instructions tell you to, make sure it's far enough in there. And I did not do that. The only other thing I did show you guys tonight was switching this cutter out and putting, where did I set it? Oh, maybe I set it over there thinking, oh yeah, I did. The round cutter on there. And again, it's just, gives you a little bit smoother cut.
Yeah, I really like the round cutter. It's very forgiving.
Yeah.
I actually like it better than the pear-shaped one. Sometimes you got to use the pear-shaped one to get into spunky corners and stuff, but I really like the round one. I get some really smooth interior cuts with that. It's a great finishing cutter. I agree.
And then I have ordered the teardrop one. I haven't used it. Whenever it comes in, it comes in. But it was kind of cool because we decided I was doing this demo tonight. So I was able to tell my wife I needed extra pieces.
There you go.
Except for, according to UPS, they're supposed to show up at my house by 7 o'clock tonight, and it's 7:20. So maybe they're sitting by the front door. I don't know. But I did order the big swan neck bar too. That thing wasn't cheap. So that'll be fun to try out once I get it.
Okay. That swan neck bar you're talking about has like a hook on the end, so you can get even more of an angle at your sides right there at the opening.
Yes.
Yeah,
It will look just like this.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can get around the rim. You can get under the rim with
size.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's probably going to be the size of that bar. It probably won't be the size of that bar, but it'll be this shape.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Because doing my little,
gives you a little bit smoother cut.
Yeah, I really like the round cutter. It's very forgiving.
Yeah.
I actually like it better than the pear-shaped one. Sometimes you got to use the pear-shaped one to get into funky corners and stuff, but I really like the round one. I get some really smooth interior cuts with that. It's a great finishing cutter. I agree.
And then I have ordered the teardrop one. I haven't used it. Whenever it comes in, it comes in. But it was kind of cool because we decided I was doing this demo tonight. So I was able to tell my wife I needed extra pieces.
There you go.
Except for, according to UPS, they're supposed to show up at my house by 7 o'clock tonight, and it's 7:20. So maybe they're sitting by the front door. I don't know. But I did order the big swan neck bar too. That thing wasn't cheap. So that'll be fun to try out once I get it.
Okay. That swan neck bar you're talking about has like a hook on the end, so you can get even more of an angle at your sides right there at the opening.
Yes.
Yeah,
It will look just like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get around the rim. You can get
it'll
under
be
the
that
rim with
size.
it. Yep.
Well, it's probably going to be the size of that bar. It probably won't be the size of that bar, but it'll be this shape.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Because doing my little cups there that I was cutting, I ran into the problem where I couldn't get over to the edge enough because I was only working with what was that, 2 inches across maybe at the most, so I couldn't get an angle. And yeah, that hook bar would let me get an angle. Okay.
Yeah. And are you turning on a big lathe or one of the little lathes?
I've got a 1642.
Okay. I've never made this myself, but I've seen other guys on YouTube make it, and I've been tempted for little hollowing tools. Where you go to Harbor Freight, you buy their cheap set of Allen wrenches, and then will grind tips on and then make their corners. I was like, that's kind of cool, but I mean, there's not a lot of tool there to hold on to.
That was the problem I ran into. Yeah, I couldn't hold the tool once I made it.
Put it into a handle. Make a handle.
Yeah, you put it in a handle.
But it just seems so small. But then at the same time, so is that little cutter, and it does fine.
Exactly. So. They work great, Doug. And you can also make ring cutters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Allen wrenches are the bomb for miniatures and hollowing, small stuff. They're great.
Well, cool.
And it's better if you can go to an old swap meet and people that are selling old tools, grandma and grandpa's tools, or folks like us when we pass on and our stuff gets auctioned off. But the great Allen wrenches are the ones that have rust on them because they actually have carbon steel in them.
Okay.
Yeah. Those will hold an edge.
That's good to know.
As opposed to, the new, going to the store and buying a new set of Allen wrenches. They're made of hot metal.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'll get this thing all finished up and not blown up by next week's meeting. And I'll sand it and finished, and then we'll see what it turns out to be like.
So make sure you got some cool spalting in there too.
Say that again.
Looks like you got some cool spalting in there too.
Yeah. I mean, it's
the mineralization of the Palo Verde out there.
Okay.
Where we have
it. You guys know that wood better than I do.
Hey, Dane.
Yeah.
You can get that bar that he's got there. You can get a bar that's got a hole in the end of it instead of that little disc that's holding his cutter. You get a bar with a hole in the end of it and an Allen screw in it, and you can put the Allen wrench in there.
Yes, you can you could very easily make your own bar.
Right.
Well, you could fit an Allen wrench if you get the right size Allen wrench. You could fit it inside that round holder he's got there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And one other thing, I've used that Carter system. When you were using it there, Doug, if you would angle the tool rest and the holder so that your cutter, when you put your bar in there, so the bar is perpendicular with those rollers. It'll help you prevent it from binding up on you.
you're saying just turn this and then turn that to match it.
Correct.
Yes,
And
yes.
not only that, if you turn that tool rest and get it partway inside of the bowl there, you will also prevent that dropping off on that offset on the end.
Okay.
That's a good point. Yep. I like that idea.
And I'll provide more support too that way.
Correct.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I've got a lot of space behind my lathe is because when I use my own similar system is I'm off and have that end, the far end of my boring bar way out and the tool rest turned also. So that's a good point. Excellent point.
Yeah, that's why I have to take my tailstock off because the bar bumps into it. And then, you know, I went through all the trouble of copying Mike Peace on YouTube, and I made me a cabinet. And you see that slot in the cabinet? So this cabinet is supposed to back right up to my lathe, and then you slide the tailstock right onto it. Only then I put the padding on my floor, and now I can't roll the cabinet over here. And even if I carry it over here, the padding made it offset because when I built it on the concrete floor.
Hey, Doug,
You're gonna have to make another one, Doug.
I guess so.
Hey, no, you ain't got to make another one. Last week during our demo by Jim Duxbury, he showed his hoist that he has on his ceiling that he uses to snake that tailstock straight up off of the lathe bed out of the way.
Oh wow, that's a good idea.
And for $100, you know, whether it's Harbor Freight or Home Depot or Lowe's, you can buy the same similar hoist. And when I get back, that's what I'm going to be doing for mine as well. My manual engine hoist is going to be on the market.
I've been trying to convince my wife we need to spend about $400 or $500 on that swing arm, that power mat.
No.
Have they gone up that much?
You gotta think of my
little bit of ingenuity and throw that hoist up on your ceiling, and you'll snake that thing right up. You'll also be able to use it to hold the bed extension. That's a beautiful thing that Jim Duxbury showed.
Yeah.
Now you can just tell her you just saved her $300.
Has that swing away gone up that much, really?
I don't know what they are anymore. I just know that
I think I gave 300 for mine.
Yeah.
You can make the tailstock lighter too by removing that extra arm that you never use.
Yeah.
That thing's surprisingly heavy.
Yeah. And you're right. Yeah, that duplicator thing that I've never used, not one time.
Well, I used to hold used to have the cage on there for the first couple of years I had my lathe too. So and I was just using it to hold stuff. Yeah. So yeah, you don't use it, so might as well just take it off. It's in the way.
Yep. I had somebody ask me on, I think it was on TikTok. They said that something happened to some of their knobs on their bed posts, and they still had one good one and wanted to know if I could make them 3 more. And my answer was, I can make you as many bed posts as you want, but none of them are going to match because I'm not that good.
You know, I actually think you could do it, Doug. It's not that hard. You just have to use calipers at all the critical points.
Yep.
I've tried it with snowmen just to see if I make the same snowman. And I can tell you from lots of experience, no, I cannot.
Okay.
I'm right there with you, Doug. That's exactly why I bought the duplicator.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't do
Well,
it.
if you're making chess pieces, you almost have to have a duplicator.
Well,
or some similar sort of mechanism.
I've seen a lot of them make them free-handed.
Hey, can I show this piece real quick to show how I did the hollowing and what I was talking about earlier?
Go ahead, Matt.
All right. I can't switch to me, so somebody will have to switch to me.
Thanks, Doug.
You bet.
Can somebody highlight him? I'm in the middle of.
All right. So this piece is cedar. All right. And it's hollow, and I had a huge void on it because that's where the bark was. And so it was being held on the lathe like this. Okay. And when I was hollowing, I wasn't going this way like Doug was doing. I was coming this way to the wall. Okay. So I left the meat of it in here as long as I could. And I was always hollowing to the wall like this and moving deeper into the piece at a time. So I always had a fair amount of wood down here, you know, to keep the piece stable. And once I got the wall this thin, I never came back to it. I never turned on it because it's cedar, it's brittle, it would break. So I was always hollowing from the center to the wall, and then I would go a little deeper and hollow from the center to the wall like that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show.
That's cool. That's a beautiful piece too.
Well, thank you. I did this. This is like, I don't know, 15 years old, 10 years old. I did this a long time ago. But all right, good. Thanks, Doug. That was a great demo. I enjoyed seeing everything.
No problem at all. Happy to do it.
Definitely.
That was a very good demo, Doug, but we do have a problem. We have members that say they're singing the Gilligan's Island song in the back of their head. And it may go on, that may go on for days. I know I can never watch another episode of it. It won't be right for me.
Are you
But that was,
telling me I'm not as pretty as Marianne? I think I'm as pretty as Marianne.
Well, you just keep thinking that.
Doug, you ought to be quiet.
Yeah, no comment. No
You're
comment.
digging a big hole for yourself there, Doug.
And then he woke
Who
up.
are we to dispel any delusions you might have, huh?
Just don't ask him what he saw in the bowl, okay?
all right. Thank you, Paul. Oh, thank you, Doug. It was a very good demonstration. Folks, we're going to go back to gallery in just a minute or so. But before we do that, I'd like to share with you what's coming up in the future for us. And this is it. We're going to have some gallery displays. I have 5 of them in a program right now. This could change at any time because this is your wood turning club. And if you got a suggestion or a change or an alteration to it, let me know. But we're going to have a Show Me Your Crotch. That's going to be the Wednesday after Valentine's Day. Turn a crotch out of anything and show it to us. We really want to see your art in this one. Lay some wooden eggs. That's going to happen right around Easter time. It's April 5th for that one. Gnomes. Boy, this is going to be wide open. I don't want to even go up against Mad Harbor with this gnome thing. No.
Hey, Eddie, they're
Yeah.
March 15th, not April 12th.
Oh, what is March 15th?
That's the day before St. Patrick, or a day or two before St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, see, I don't drink anymore, so I won't keep track of that.
That's okay. I didn't want people to think they had more time than they actually have.
Okay, so it's what date again? March
15th.
March 15th.
Okay. And then we have a cannon challenge that was thrown at us by our British
Martin
members. Yeah, Martin Clarkson and crew over in British. We're going to take them on again. That's June 28th, right around July 4th. And Plates and Platters. That's coming up for Labor Day weekend. And that's going to be, it could, if it's big, it's a platter. If it's little, it's a plate. If it's too small, it's a tea saucer. But those are our gallery displays. And remind you again, these are not challenges. These are just an opportunity for us to focus on different work so we can see your techniques. And I saw something earlier in the chat that would talking about different magazines and different clubs. And let me tell you a little personal thing. I don't like the magazines that show you the art and leave it alone. No, if you're going to go through the trouble to publish an article about this art, go through enough trouble to tell me how it's made, which techniques used, some details on it, just what the finish is. Share some tidbits that we can use because that's what we need. We need those tidbits. And that what happens right here in our gallery. When you're showing a gallery, I mean, you get every day, every time we show them, you get one of the first questions, would you finish that with? Isn't that it? It should be automatic when you show us a piece to say, I did this, and this is what I did, and this is how I finished it. It's all in the technique that you use to develop your art. I'd love to see it. We're going to go back to gallery right now. Beware, I've seen some old names pop up on this list. This could get as dangerous as Doug Rowe demonstrating right now. Who's up?
Well, we got Scott up next. And then besides Scott, we don't have anyone unless I've
Oh, I
missed him.
saw Joaquin. I saw Joaquin pop
Well,
in.
He
We
I
got,
saw Joaquin. Well, I saw Joaquin come in, but I didn't see him say he wanted to show something. But I'm sure he does.
Mr. Duxbury didn't have anything to show tonight.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
he
does.
does.
Oh yeah, we do. We got Jim. I'm sorry. We'll get Jim next. Sorry.
So
Go ahead, Scott.
we were just talking about Allen wrenches made into tools. You can see that if I can get it to focus. This is an 1/8-inch Allen wrench that I bored into a bar. It's held in by a set screw.
Jeez.
So that's just a straight one, just like the cutter Doug was just using. Just a round nose cutter. This one is one that I haven't ground the cutting angle on, but it'll be a round nose cutter just like that, except now it's hooked to go around the corner. And I drilled this one out so it'll accept up to a 1/4 inch Allen wrench, and it's just held in by a set screw.
Yep, good idea.
And then this bar fits into a handle that I have that takes a 3/8 bar. So you can make your own Allen wrench tools. Just make sure you buy old Allen wrenches. The older, the better.
Yep. If they got
I got a
rust, they're
question.
good. Go
Scott,
ahead.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Like the game, tag.
Tag.
Drop the last 2 letters.
Okay. Thank you.
And corrected. Thanks, Scott.
No, not a problem. Just another idea for making. I use these on small boxes or small finials where I want to get into tight corners. They work well.
Yeah, they do. All right, let's go to the master. Hey, Jim.
Oh, you asked for it. Okay.
Yes, I did.
A couple weeks ago, I showed this offset jig that you put in your chuck to do pendants and things. You put double-sided tape on here and a piece of wood. And to get this to 0, you were saying somebody said something about you should have a stop on here. So I put a stop on there. And it works great. You guys did that yourself.
No kidding. About that.
Yeah. And when you want to offset this, if you want to offset it a specific amount, you can put a spacer in here. But I found that rather than put spacers in here, you're never sure what size spacer you did. If you use a drill bit, you got a whole set of drill bits from a 1/16 all the way to a 1/2 inch. And you can put a drill bit in here, and then you know exactly what your spacing is. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Your chuck is, your jaws are here.
Right.
And when that's against the jaws, that's a 0. This is dead center.
Yep, that's a great idea, Jim.
If you put a
be aware, Jim, be aware that Billy Burt's the one I asked you a minute ago and said something, so you can see Billy's come up on YouTube in the next day or 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that stop works great. And by
Billy is probably already headed to his shop to put a stop on his already.
No,
Okay.
I'll do that in the morning.
I was going to make this adjustable, and it could be adjustable, but by making that a 0 point, then you get your 0 there. And by putting drill bits in between that and the chuck jaw itself, you can come up with anything you want.
Yeah, I like that drill bit idea.
Okay, here's another one. This thing indexes to give you the pattern. Once you got this offset, you can put the pattern anywhere you want it. I don't have the other one, but instead of having a flat surface on here, if you go to 0 over here, and on this side put a mark about, I don't know, a good 1/16, and sand that off. That gives you an offset surface. So when you turn something, it gives you an offset like that.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So now I got to go make me another round block.
Now you gotta make 2 of them. I can't find one. I have no idea where it is.
That's
Okay, so
awesome.
what you're saying is you sand that thing at a little bit of a slant? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay,
go
got it.
From 0 to a 16th.
right.
0 to a 16th there. Make
Ah,
this.
perfect.
Yeah,
Okay, all
yeah,
right.
I
Thank
gotta
you.
go make
Well,
me
I
another
love it.
round
Great
block
idea,
tomorrow.
guys.
In fact, you could probably make 2 or 3 of them. Make it.
Jeez.
Don't go.
Could put
It
a
could be a 16th. You just
could put a
want-
shimmer. You could put a shim in there too.
You could under the tape, but it's this works really neat. And maybe
Yes, it does. That's really sharp.
That's cool.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
My wife's a librarian, and in a lot of these libraries, they throw the books out, and they discard the books. Yes, I was. Oh God, to do anything bad with a book. Anyway, this is sacrilegious to a librarian. Okay, but this book is turned.
Oh wow.
So when you open this book up, all these pages.
When you open it up, it's turned.
These are all turned, okay? And the first turning you make, in fact, you use a tool kind of like Mark Soleil's, a real low angle, like something you use for a soft wood, real soft wood. Anyway, your first cut goes in, and a piece comes out. But then all the rest of the cuts that go in, washers come out. Washers are flying all over the place. It's really funny to do. But anyway,
I've seen scrolled books before, but I haven't seen one turned.
well, a lot of this stuff
Kind of
is
like
not
turning a golf ball.
anyway. Here's,
How do you hold that, Jim?
against this is another one. This is turned on 3 centers.
Wow.
When you open this, you got,
Oh, my gosh.
anyway.
Fundamentals of nursing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of the stuff's obsolete, so you just turn it out. You put this against a faceplate, and you put another piece. I got a piece of plywood with a hole in it that bolts to the faceplate, so it sandwiches this into the lathe. So this is turning.
Kind of like a donut shop.
Yeah, you could use masking tape too, I bet. You could use masking tape.
Oh, no, this is, well, especially when you go off center, you can't. Yeah, these are pretty heavy.
Okay. Okay.
I can tell you, when it comes off the lathe, actually, I was using a counterbalance out of steel, and I had it on the other side here. So when I was turning off center here, I was counterbalanced on the other side, and I used the holes too many times, and the counterbalance flew off and went through the wall, and the book flew across the room. So I had to fix the wall. I have one real nice white spot behind the lathe. That's a new section of wall. Anyway, it's kind of fun.
And hey,
That's
guys,
cool.
I have to live with this man.
Yeah. She brings home these books. I can't do it. Anyway, that's it. I'm done.
All right, sounds good.
Make me laugh, Jim.
Books, not just for
All
reading.
right. Let's go to Brent.
You have Ray Davis on the screen.
Yeah,
All right, hey Brent.
I'm here. Who
I
we
got
going
you.
to?
Brent.
Got Brent.
Hey, hello, how y'all doing? So, a few weeks ago, I got stuck doing a demo for our club. They wanted to see some metal leafing and chemical patination, a la David Marks. So, did this little aspen bowl with silver leaf on it with chemical patination. I used the sulfurated potash or potash sulfurated whatnot on it. It doesn't really show well on the camera on here and such, but
That's gorgeous.
that's
It's beautiful.
So Brett, was the patina on the silver leaf?
well, it was, I put the silk, so this is black acrylic paint on the wood. Then I put the silver leaf on that, then I treated it with the chemical,
Okay.
and that tarnished it. Then about 15 coats of lacquer. So
That's really pretty.
It is pretty.
and I did another one. This is a
Oh, wow.
little juniper vase, the same sort of process.
Yeah.
So
That's lovely.
Very nice.
Wow,
I
looks great.
really like this little chemical patination kind of stuff. It's kind of fun. So
Yeah. Can you hold that on the other side of you?
Looks
Maybe
great.
maybe we won't get as much glare on it.
and I shade it somehow. I don't know.
It's not. It's beautiful.
It's
Nice
just
job,
gorgeous.
man.
That's really pretty.
Johnny, we can't see it very well.
Yeah, I buffed it a lot on the lacquer and such. So
Gorgeous.
Maybe try turning it perpendicular to where it is. Hold it lengthwise. Turn it this way. There you go.
yeah.
And hold it up a little higher.
Just got a
No,
great
it's
finish.
not-
on it.
It's
Yeah.
not working.
Yeah, that's a heck of a finish, though.
Just got a great finish.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but you can still see the colors. It's really pretty.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
very nice.
That's the hazards of a lot of lacquer, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's
The hazards of a good finish, what it is.
that's what I got. So anyhow,
All right, thanks.
Very nice, Brent.
Good to see you, buddy.
yeah, let's
All
do
right,
that.
let's go to this guy. He's got something. Hey, Howard.
Oh, Howard.
Oh, am I on?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, I got you. Yes, sir.
okay. Well, I'm sure glad I didn't have to follow Jim. Let that guy follow him, man alive. But I got a couple of things. This was cherry burl, and I had got a burl, and I cut it all up for bow blanks and things. I ended up with a wedge shape, a triangular shaped piece, and so I debated what to try to do. So I mounted it up and turned this out of it, and
Gorgeous.
That is really pretty.
That is pretty.
but I think the base is too small. What do y'all think? It's too
No.
small, isn't it? It should be
No.
bigger.
No.
No,
No, it's okay.
No,
Looks
it's
good.
perfect.
No, I like it.
That's okay
I
for the
like it.
form you got.
But it's
I
got
like it.
lots of voids like burls have, lots of bark
Yeah.
inclusions and stuff. And a few places I got almost too thin, about 1/8 of an inch there. So, but anyway, I use Minwax antique oil for most of my things. I like the natural looking wood finish is what I like.
Right.
But I guess it's got lots of shining spots on it.
Yeah, it sure does.
It's
Yeah, it
beautiful.
does.
I like the shiny. People like shiny, Howard.
Yep.
There's the base of it. So
And that base is fine. It looks like it's in the rule of thirds. So
Yes.
Yeah.
well, they say make it a little bit more than half the diameter, and I don't know.
No.
I just
Right, but for the shape of that vessel, that I think the pedestal bottom like that is fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
What
Well,
did
good.
you hollow it?
Works.
What did you hollow it with?
Great.
I have a Jameson hollowing outfit
Okay,
on deep bows. I have a Trent Bosch stabilizer, and it's good for about 6-8 inches. But if you're going to go deeper, 12 inches, 14, I use that Jameson.
okay.
And I had a friend of mine, he's a metal worker, and he made me a special 1-inch steel bar for that Jameson.
All right.
That
Nice.
5/8 or 3/4 bar that comes with it just can't
That's
cut
thin.
it, I don't think. But anyway,
Right. Mhm.
if
A
you
lot of
have one,
vibration.
you probably know what I'm talking about. And Tim Yoder sells a great laser. So I bought his laser, put on it, and it's has electric cord. In fact, I bought it there at SWAT a couple years ago, and from Tim, and not to knock Jameson laser, but it's pretty cheap. Oh, I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Group,
Hey.
Save somebody from buying something that's inferior.
Yep.
Yeah. When I bought
There's something to
Jameson
see.
thing, that laser fell apart after about a month, and I went to Radio Shack, bought one, and been buying batteries and stuff. And finally, when I saw Tim Yoder advertising his on YouTube, I said, I'm gonna get that. And I've had it a couple of years. Man, it's great. It's fantastic. It'll do it. It'll hang in there.
I don't know if you're still using batteries or not, Howard, but my system is very similar to Lyle's. And what I did is I bought a red laser head and a power supply for it, and mine just plugs in. I don't have any batteries anymore. The cord's just taped to the bar, and it never fails. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
get
why
broken.
Tim.
Okay.
That's why Tim Yoder's is. You just
Yeah,
plug it up.
I think I got a total of $20 into it. So.
Oh, well, Tim's, I had to buy the upright bar and the bar that hangs out over the piece. And that was $100 and something, but it was well worth it. You know, hey, I really like it too. Oh, I had a friend who used to work in Arizona, and he retired and came back, and he knew I did wood turning, so he had a friend out there. He said, I'll get him to send you some wood. So I got a UPS brought a big box by one day, and there was this desert ironwood piece in there about so long. And so I cut it in half, and this is half of it. And
that is beautiful.
You talk about heavy,
ironwood.
you talk about heavy and hard, but if you got sharp tools, boy, it turns like a dream. I mean,
wow.
Yeah.
Like Osage orange.
Like frozen chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
But I was really concerned because it had all these cracks, and this is a crotch piece, by the way. It had two limbs coming out, and had cracks between the limbs and loss of bark inclusion. And so when I finally got the outside turn, I just wrapped this thing up with a shrink wrap, and then I put duct tape all around it, and then I went into it, and luckily I'm still alive. So
that is gorgeous.
Yeah, great job, Howard.
I think I just put one coat of oil on this because this thing was just, if you turn desert ironwood, it shines. I mean, you get it, you sand it to 400, and it's just like, it's fantastic. I mean, it's just, I couldn't believe it.
It's one of the top 5 densest woods in the world.
Oh, really?
And
I believe it.
So it's got a Yonka rating, depending upon which Yonka chart you look at, between 36 and 3,900.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
And so when it comes to finishing, it's really hard to get any type of finish to penetrate in it, because the grain is it's solid, it's closed. Nothing will penetrate in it. It all lays on the surface.
Yeah, I put one coat on it and wiped it off, and I couldn't tell any different. And I said, well, shoot, I'm just going to leave it natural. I mean, gee, I think I put Renaissance wax on it and buffed it up, but it didn't need buffing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the best finish that I find for ironwood is CA, super glue.
Oh, really? Really? Wow.
Yes.
Okay, and that was
It will
desert
shine like a
ironwood?
diamond in a goat's ass. Desert iron, that is proper iron. That is proper ironwood.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Not, it's not the white horn beam. The folks up here in the Midwest, will harp about, I got ironwood. That there is proper ironwood.
Okay. Well, let me tell you one thing. You better keep your hands out of this right here. If you want your hand cut off, stick it right there, take the finger off. Yeah. Oh, I still got my fingers. So.
Band-aid. Good job.
Yeah, you did a good job getting it that thin without it chipping and breaking off. You did a good job.
Yeah, I got so far, and I said, that's good. I'm going to stop. All right, thank you.
Right on. Thank you, Howard.
All right.
All right. Now let's go to Corpus Christi.
Okay.
Somewhere down there. Joaquin.
Hey
Discussion
there, how
ready?
you? Man, I've missed the last two meetings I've been to the
Yes, you
meetings, but my
have.
camera's been bad. And I haven't been able to have a good picture to share anything. But I'm working off my tablet tonight, working it out, but I have
You're
this
looking
mosquito
good.
hole. And I usually had a knothole here. I usually fill it up with turquoise or some kind of stone. But Doug Miller, he did one with coffee grounds. So I filled this one with coffee grounds and it come out real good. And it didn't dull my tools as quick as the stone does.
That is gorgeous.
That's really pretty, Joaquin.
Super shiny.
And I'm, thank you, like all the rest of y'all, out there under the back porch, I probably got, there's no telling how many blanks that's been there 10 years, 2 years, whatever. And so I've been going through blanks and they're cracking pretty bad on me because they've been sitting out there so long not used. So I let the wood design this bow. It was a bigger blank, but it had cracks up in here on both sides where the pit was. So I cut all the cracks out, and this is the shape I ended up with. I decided it needed something to enhance it, to put the beads in there with it. This is also a piece of mesquite.
It's
And
beautiful.
normally I don't let the wood tell me what to do. If I got something in my mind, I go ahead and turn it the way I want it to be.
Very nice.
Very pretty.
And this is some Chinese tallow. Spalted Chinese tallow. Never turned it before. And I'll never turn it any of it again.
Why?
I started turning this and I got a call from a friend and my nose was burning and I was doing a little coughing.
Oh.
So I got through with the call. So I put a mask on, dust mask, went back out there, finished turning it and got this out of it. But that night when I went to bed, my eyes watered for 3 hours. Couldn't keep them open. And I don't know what in the world was in it or what caused it. I had another fella in our club said the same thing happened to him with this Chinese tallow.
Wow.
Have y'all had that experience before?
No, I've turned quite a bit of Chinese tallow, and I know Robert Hodge has as well.
Yeah.
I've not reacted to it. I like turning it because it finishes beautifully, and it's very, very light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
Maybe
had
it's
an
just
issue.
something in an area here or something. I
I've
don't
never
know.
turned it.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
But I'm gonna stay
A
away
lot
from
of
it.
it, I've not had an issue though.
Yeah, wood affects people differently. We all know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
I've got a friend. I was doing a demo at the clubhouse, and I had a piece of mesquite, and he says, "Is that mesquite?" I says, "Yeah." He says, "I got to go." He couldn't hang around. He's allergic to
We've got a
mesquite.
guy in our group that can't be in the room if you're turning mesquite.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm. And that's tonight. Okay.
And so that's called Chinese tallow.
Chinese tallow.
Chinese tallow.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's a weed that was brought over, huh?
Probably so.
Pretty
It's
much.
all
No,
over
well,
here.
it
They
makes
got
a
berries on them, and they're a nuisance, you know.
yeah, it is a nuisance.
Yeah, it's
They
probably
drop limbs like crazy. They're really
Yeah.
soft.
yeah, it was probably brought over as a fencing alternative back in the 1800s.
I don't know. They
It's
grow
got a
fast,
short
but
lifetime to it. They don't last very long.
no, they don't
Yeah.
last long.
Yeah.
Wind breaks.
Mhm.
Yeah, atypical,
Yeah. Of
right?
course, we got the hackberry down here too. It's a nuisance, but I love hackberry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's beautiful
that
to turn.
hackberry turns beautifully.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to this guy and see if he's got some amazing segmented piece. Ray, are you out there? Ray Davis? Oh no.
He's not showing up on a list right now.
Yeah, I don't see him either. Oh crap.
Hey,
All
I
right,
got
well.
a crotch I'll show before I got several crotches. I got one I want to show though.
Okay.
You know what? While he's getting that, I was just thinking too, after the week after we do the show me your crotch, we should do show me your bottom.
Show me your bottom. Well, why don't you expand on that, Brenda?
Well, the bottom of your bowl.
Yeah.
Show me the bottom.
Yeah.
How
I
you
mean, I've
make
got
the
a
bottom?
special crotch piece for the 15th of February, but this is one I did several years ago. It's ash.
Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's I don't know whether you can see it.
Look at the turtle.
Yeah, I saw a sea turtle too.
Yeah.
You lasered that in there, didn't you?
Can't get a good light on it.
You guys sure that's not Joaquin's hands making puppets in the turtle?
I thought that was natural at first.
Yeah. I would burn that on there. But,
That's pretty.
It's pretty.
it saves me from adding this on the 15th. I've got a couple of special things I'm doing with the crotches that
Uh-oh.
I'm about to kill myself with them, but I look forward to that night.
Hey, Joaquin,
Yeah.
I had trouble with my camera a couple weeks ago on my computer.
Yes, sir.
And it was Zoom. I had to uninstall Zoom and then reinstall Zoom. One of their updates screwed up my camera.
Okay, because I updated the driver and that did. So I'll try that, Billy.
Yeah, I don't like this latest update that Zoom did because you gotta refresh the chat. Going through,
Okay.
looking at the chat, you can't see everything because it's got to refresh, or at least it does on the Android. So it's been a
Alright.
pain in the butt. So
Yeah, it's been a pain on Windows too.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not automatic. It's not automatically scrolling the messages. It's a pain.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so those of you that's been helping out with hey, you missed this guy or you missed this guy, I really appreciate it tonight because
I may give
this
you a holler,
update
Billy.
blows.
That was Scott that told
That
me
was
that.
Scott.
Yeah,
Oh, they had
Scott,
trouble with the Zoom?
Scott
With the
tagged.
Zoom, yep. So I just
Yep,
Okay,
Scott
Scott.
tagged.
Yep,
Yep.
I just uninstalled it off my PC, went back
Okay.
out and reinstalled Zoom all over again. And it works. My camera's working fine now.
I appreciate that because I got a brand new camera and it did the same thing. So then I found out it wasn't the camera.
It's
I was
probably
able to take
Zoom.
the camera back.
Yeah, when I launched Zoom tonight, it automatically by default chose the built-in camera, which is old and crappy.
Yeah.
Instead of the Logitech that I've got sitting up here, I had to go in and manually change it.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, there's
appreciate
something wrong with there's something with the latest update. It's doing different stuff for us. We're just having to relearn it. So
good info though.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not your stuff. You just gotta reconfigure, Joaquin.
Okay.
Thank you, Joaquin. That was
Okay,
nice
sounds
to see
good.
that.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to expound on what Brenda said just for a moment. Brenda said, show me your bottom. We just looked at that piece just now, looked at that piece that Joaquin did. We looked at all the top of it. We didn't look at the bottom of it. This is as much turning as this is. And that's where Brenda's gone, right, Brenda?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see how you handled the bottom, because tear rods, break-offs, and stuff like that are on the bottom. That detracts from the actual finished piece. So we might do that. Show us your bottom. And show me your bottom. That's
Yeah.
what I gotta say. Okay. All right. But that's just something we can work towards. This will continue on, folks.
Is
because
Doug
Trace-
Rowe on here with you saying that?
Yeah.
You know,
Doug is busy
start,
turning-
don't
Doug's
start
turning
a
his
fire you
bottom.
can't put. Don't start a fire you
Hey.
can't put out, please.
Hey, let's continue on here with the gallery. We got
Yeah.
Glenn up next. Hey, Glenn.
How y'all doing?
What's up, buddy? We're doing good. Good to see you.
This past month, our club challenge was a set of nesting bowls. And so the first one I did is a little one. It's about 2 3/4 diameter.
Yeah.
It's out of oak.
It's gravy. That's the
Then-
gravy.
Then the next one I did, a little smaller. This one's out of mesquite.
Oh, I see what you're doing here.
The little one's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Oh my
And then-
goodness.
And then this, I went with another one. This
Hey,
one's
Glenn,
out
what's the
of,
wood?
this is Bacote.
Okay,
Love it.
very nice. That's what I
That's
thought.
pretty.
Very
Fits
nice.
in there. Then the next one, this one's out of Osage Orange.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
And then the last one, this little bitty one, is out of pecan. So
There you go.
let it sit
Now you
there.
got something to. Now you got something to put your wasabi and soy sauce in for sushi night.
Yeah.
Well,
Those
I
are
don't
You
really
did it all
cool, Glenn.
freehand. You
I
didn't
don't
use the
do
coring
sushi,
system.
so I'll just catch it. So
That is
that's all I. That's
Those
all
are
I had.
cool.
very nice.
Really cool. I like that.
Nice job,
Very
Glenn.
nice.
Thanks.
Great, Jim.
All right. Now
You
back to the
use
master
both
of
like that?
activities.
I use
Okay.
both like that shotgun my medication.
Sorry, there you go, Eddie. Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry,
we
Eddie, I didn't
normally,
mean to cut you
we
off.
normally pull the plug at 9 o'clock Central Time. And that was just done because years ago, it would just ramble on forever. And somebody's got to monitor it. Somebody's got to be in there because if it gets off base or it gets vulgar or picky or whatever, we got to drop it out.
No,
So,
we're not going to have vulgar.
no, okay. Trace is going to be on us tonight, just like he is every other night. And Trace is going to hold on to this. So as long as you talk wood turning, talk. And that's what we're going to do right now. So with that, I say good night, God bless, and stay safe. And I'll see you here next Wednesday night, okay?
Hey, good night, Eddie.
Okay, sounds
Hey,
good.
good night.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Not
Good
Eddie.
night, Billy.
It's the chat.
Save the
Save the
chat. Boy,
chat.
thank you,
Bob-
Donald.
Bob
Save
Grinstad,
that
please
chat.
save the chat.
Night, Eddie.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I'll look forward to the email of the chat tomorrow. Bob, thank you.
Hey, I ran out and my UPS package came in. So if you want to see what the swan neck bar looks like, I've got it here.
Yes.
Meeting's over,
Yeah.
Terry, but we can still show you. After Doug's done showing us, we can take a look at what you got, Terry. We're in the after
Oh,
hours now.
I'm here somewhere. If I can find
No,
it.
no, yeah, you're here.
You got me?
While you're there, let me go ahead and highlight you.
Really?
So I got you highlighted.
There. You got me highlighted.
Yes, sir. I got you
Good.
highlighted.
I did
So keep in mind, we're in the after hours of the program, so
That's okay. I'm only gonna be a minute. I just wanted to show you a couple of
no
things. I
worries.
was out in the shop and I run out of different things to show, do, and looking for something to keep myself busy. And I had some old lamp shades that when I was doing the lamps, some that I worked on and wasn't happy with and threw them on a shelf. Didn't make any bases. And I said, well, let me work on some of them. So I'll show you what I came up with if I can flip the camera around here. These are, you can get a pretty good picture. I try to get one in there. They're, I don't know what the shades are. These two are something that I picked up and it was a little denser. It's white, but it was a little denser than what I'd been using. And I didn't get the light through it that I really wanted. But the bases are hackberry.
Beautiful.
And they had really had a lot going on with them and I really liked them and they changed out. So I
Love
made
them,
the
base.
3 bases.
Hey,
These are all
hey,
shades that I had made before that I didn't really like, so I decided I'd finish them up. And then one more, that's hackberry also, all 3 of them are. This is, one's a little larger. And this has got a Norfolk Island pine shade on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And
Cuts down the band.
so they came out pretty nice. There was one more, but I had a granddaughter down yesterday and I went home with her.
There you
She
go.
decided it was part of her collection.
Right. Hey,
So-
Terry, what do you use? What do you use for your finish?
The bases are, the shades are just buffed out and waxed. But the bases, all 3 of these bases are Minwax tung oil,
Okay.
about 3 coats of it. And it comes out with a real nice sheen. I really like it. It's works
Yeah.
really nice. It's
you gotta pretty much follow the directions to use it. It takes like 24 hours for it to cure.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
the
you-
well, that's the finish that I prefer.
You have to leave it overnight and then you have to buff it out and then put on another light coat. I kind of wipe it off like I do the wipe on poly so that it don't bunch up anywhere.
Right.
And just buff it out and it comes out really nice. I really like it. You can kind of see it. You're not really seeing the sheen too much with it here, but you can. I don't know if it had more light on it. You might. No, that probably doesn't help it either. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show. And there, that one, I didn't have 3 plugs, so that one's not plugged in. So that's what I got, guys.
Right on, appreciate it. All right, let's go back to Doug Rowe so he can show us his thing on the jigger. There he is. Hey,
There it
Doug.
is. It came in, so it doesn't have a handle on
I
it.
didn't
but
lie to you.
bar. And it comes
Oh,
with
wow.
a cutter already on it.
Yep, yeah, that's the round
I
one.
took it in there and played around with it a little bit. It's very comfortable.
Who made that one, Doug?
This is all
Carter.
from
Okay,
Carter
now
products.
you could put that other post, you could mount that post like on that also? The one you were using for the demonstration?
Hollowing jig, yes.
Yeah,
No,
this,
I'm just asking if you can.
I can
Now-
take
now
this
the-
off of,
That's
I can
that's
put
the
the
purpose
handle
of it.
bar if
Yeah,
I
I'm
need.
talking about the cutter, the cutter end.
Oh, no. This cutter, that it is set up so there's the backside of it. It's set up to take the carbide cutter. Well, now
Okay.
I guess if I unthreaded that, I probably could thread that in there, but that would